Alrighty then, hello. We are here now. Today, probably not going to be a very long stream. I did figure out what was wrong, what's been up with my health, which is nice. That's why I kind of am like, oh, I finally have an answer for why I feel so bad. I'm trying something new today. I'm going to try something new. I want to see if it will work. We're going to just try something. This is going to be an experimental stream. I want to see if the I've been wanting to combine the chats for a while. So now you will be able to see both YouTube and Twitch. People can talk to each other. And my stream has always been a place where people can talk to each other. So I'm actually excited. I wonder if this will work. And we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. I put my chats on stream. Maybe I don't like it. I couldn't figure out how to make it like kind of look nice. So it doesn't look that nice in my opinion. And perhaps I will work on that in the future. But we're going to do some keys today. I kind of want to start my prot pally journey. Like, I got Myth of the Dawn achievement, so I either finish up my Brewmaster or I start with the prot pally. I'm not sure which one I want to do. But let me make sure this works. Hopefully somebody will say hi soon, and we can confirm if it works, because as of right now, I don't currently see anything. So let's find out. When somebody says hi, we'll see if the chats are working correctly, and then we'll go into a 20 pits. I'll drop it from 21. We'll drop the 21 and we'll do that. What's up, Learn? Hey, good morning. Okay, so I hopefully, let me just pull a little Discord notification out and then we'll go here. Testing something new. Testing something new. I am still low energy. Testing something new, but at least I know why I'm low energy now. Testing something new. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Good morning, Learn. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, right. I made group. Let's reform. Reform fast, sorry. I made group, let's reform. Yo, Satan. Okay, I can see you there. Okay, I can see. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing, though. Yeah. Boris, make a listing. Blazons, make the group, right? Yo, what's up, Ash? I don't know what I did. When did I do that? When did I do that, Ash? I would never do such a thing. Okay, wait, hold up. Can you guys see? Is this all working correctly? I don't know if I set this up right. Can you? Okay, so wait, Ash, you said something. Can you see it on my stream? I don't know if I like it or not. The advantage of it, I'm not sure about this. Here, remake group. Yeah, remake group. We play NA ping. I see you. Okay, War Demon, hello. This is good. That is good news. Let's just leave party real quick. We're going to have to reform the group because I made it on OCE, and then we'll go do this. I'm going to drop it from 21, though. I don't really want to do 21. Okay, hold up. Let's see what is or is not appearing. I have a new chat. You know how normally I use the transparent thing so that I can talk to people while I do keys? Well, I decided at this point, I'm going to drop from 21. We'll go to 20. I decided that I wanted to put and combine them finally. So this is Twitch. Want to talk to me? Can you not hear me, Ash? Ash, can you not hear me? Can anybody hear me? Is my mic not working? Dude, it's been a second since I've streamed. Maybe not. In DMs in game. Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was AFK for a second. What'd you say? Butthead. Me? Butthead? What? Let me see. I'm gonna scroll up here. I'm gonna scroll up. If that healer. Oh, you wanted to heal this. I think Surge is healing it, but then if you want to later, sure. What are you playing? Are you still playing Priest or did you re-roll? Did you re-roll at this point? Okay, so here's the real question. YouTube people, say something. Someone. Koshlol says hello. Okay, I don't see that right now. So that's... Say something on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube live right now, just type something. And let me see if it works. Did you guys reform the entire group? You got 19 results today? Nice. You're Resto Shaman. Gotcha. I think Resto Shaman and Mistweaver are the two best healers at the moment. Okay. I'm not seeing it come up, so that means I have to reconnect it. Toggle YouTube messages. No, so that's not working properly. No problem. I can fix this. Something went wrong. Uno momento, por favor. Uno momento. Okay. I can see something here. Hello. So you're saying something. It's not showing up on the transparent overlay. Okay. So the overlay I got a new one. I asked Claude, to be honest with you. I straight up was just like, Claude, how can I get... I'm tired of not being able to respond to some people and have a conversation. So that is one of the plans. I want to figure this out real fast. We go to YouTube here, detect, saved, says that it's working, but perhaps not. Maybe I have to go to the exact video URL. Let's try that. Boom, detect, SH Mexican. Okay, so not as much. I need to maybe just go like, we're going to have to play around with this a little bit, but I think it could work. Detect, saved. Okay, YouTube people, now type something again. Say hello on YouTube for me and see if this works. You know how normally if you're a watcher on YouTube, I never get to actually respond to things? Like I never actually get to say hi to people because the YouTube's to the right. I've been pushing keys recently, and so I can't actually have a conversation with both streams. This is supposed to fix that issue. Currently, it's not working though. Did you say hi? Hey man. Okay, hold up. I see hey man, but I'm not seeing it come up on this. So we haven't figured out exactly how to get this working then. You know the feeling. Okay, hold up. You know what the hardest combo? This is not quite working the way I want to. Sec. Thank you, random. Do you want to do some keys? I keep asking Arson, but Arson, he has got a blood DK tank he's playing with right now. I logged in. I was like, you want 20 pit? Okay, hold up. Okay, so we got to go settings. The YouTube, detect fade messages. It just looks like it's not connecting properly. But that is the question. How do I get it to connect properly? Good morning, Yoki. 20 pit is the dream. It's a pretty easy key. It's hard to get into 20s, man. That's the thing. It's quite difficult. It's not easy to do that. Okay. So something is a little weird here, but I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure it out because I want to be able to say hello to the YouTube peoples. But as of right now, I can see you typing, but I can't actually, it's not appearing on the overlay. So I want to fix it because I want to be able to do this. Toggle vanish mode. No. I thought this would work. Fade messages. No. Detect video. General. I'm the pink name. Hi, Moa. Good morning, Tree. Do you think the MDI is going to get another bear nerf? No. I think bear is actually, I think where they're at right now with bear is actually good. Like, it's a fair tank. It could honestly use a slight bit more of a nerf, and it would be absolutely fine, to be honest with you. It wouldn't even need that, though. It wouldn't even need that. Go up. Hold up. I just want to figure out, I want to be able to talk to people. They remove iron fur. I want them to add thorns of iron back, to be honest with you. That's what I want personally. I just want them to add that back. Okay, random. I kind of want to gear my prot pally. That's kind of the next goal, to be honest. It's been too long. It has been. Dude, my hours have been crazy. So I figured out I had like a sinus infection, and I took some antihistamine for it, right? But the problem is that I took the antihistamine, and then all of a sudden I felt really bad. And it just has some random interaction with the genetic condition I have, apparently. So that is why my health has been all over the place. It's like I haven't been wanting to eat. I haven't been wanting to sleep. Like, everything kind of tanked. And it's a reminder that although I'm super healthy today, I won't get into the actual name of it. It's a strong one. But it was not supposed to do that. And all of a sudden, it's like, I just feel really bad. Okay, hold up. Noob, I'm trying to figure this out. It is currently not working the way that I want it to work. Something went wrong. But why? But why? Good luck to your Voltage Tuesday. Thank you. Take that. Hold up 1 second. I'm trying to this should work, but currently it is not working, and I don't know why it isn't working. That is the thing. I've got the link set up correctly. I guess I gotta figure out why. Oh, weird. I had to redo mine using. What's the add-on that shows cooldown? This is called Mini CC, but apparently it's super broken squishy, and I wouldn't even bother with it at the moment. Let me see. Okay. All I want is I want to figure this out, okay? I want to figure it out. This should work. I've got this new overlay that should allow me to see the YouTube chat. Can you guys see it on my stream, and what do you think? This is the question. You see in the bottom right, y'all can see this, right? Like, you can see the chat? So you guys can interact with each other. Like, y'all see that you guys see random. I see I'm glad you're feeling better. Noob, I see you. Swishy. Everybody can see this correctly. So the people with at are from, no, I think the only Twitch is showing up here. Well, yeah, on the overlay that I have here, yes. So I could put it down like this, and it would be like that. Hey, Sir Duder. So Sir Duder says that, but he's on Twitch. I can see that there. It takes up quite a bit of room. I know. I don't know how to... But you guys, it's too... If I make it smaller than this, then you can't actually read it, right? That's the problem. If I make it smaller, you can't read it. So that doesn't work properly. Here. All good. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix this. I'm trying to fix a stream thing. Sorry, one sec. Can you remove the background so it's only text? No, I don't think so, but that would be good. If I could figure out a way to do that, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Let me see if I can go like maybe settings here. Make it harder. No, because that doesn't actually matter there. Here, hold up. Let's see, settings. What this? I'm getting traded wood. I don't need that. Thank you though. Theme appearance dark. What about light? Okay. Wow. That doesn't make a difference on the overlay, huh? That doesn't actually make a difference on the dock. Okay, so settings. I don't like that. That's weird. Okay, follow system dark. All right, I like dark better. Make it where it shows the last comments. Maybe something with the comments to be bigger because it's actually hard to read, right? That's the thing. That's what I was thinking too. Like it doesn't work if it's not actually big enough. Zoom. Does that help? I think the actual widget is here though. I think have the alternative. So I feel like I'm using Caster Labs for this, but I don't know if I like it right now is the thing. Because like the actual dock is not working the way I want it to. It's almost like I wish I could zoom in on it, right? That's the thing. And also I'm trying to get it so the overlay like I think Caster Lab has an alternative. Oh boy, I'm so new at this. I don't know how to do it. Add these, show me how. All right, to create an OBS browser source. So the browser source is the thing that I actually need. Copied link. So if I have to go into OBS to do it, bro, I'm really bad at this type of stuff. I want to get better at it, but I'm honestly not good at it. So let me just try my best. Give me a moment. Chat here. I see this. I can see the custom CSS. I can... This is not going to work. What if I add the height? So what if I made it like 800 height? Does that help? That doesn't really make a difference. I'd have to make it huge. I'd have to do this, right? Now you can read now you can actually read the comments, but this is kind of rough. This is too rough, right? What's up, Hossy? I love your videos. I just want to say you really look like the Deep from The Boys. So that's like way too much of the screen if I do this, right? There's no way. Yeah, this can't work. This is too much. Are we all in agreement that this is probably too much here? This is not going to work, yeah? Move half of it off screen like this. But then doesn't leave much room for gameplay. I know. I don't want it to be this big. But I don't know what else to do. Or like down. Oh yeah, maybe we don't need all. Maybe we go like this, and we only have like the more recent comments. Does that work? What do you? I mean, basically, I need feedback here though. This is the idea here. Is I'm looking for feedback. Is Solar Flare Prism? It's actually fine. Yeah, it's any stat stick is good. Is that better? What do we feel about this? What do we feel? What do we feel? How are we feeling now? I need one more of the Ascendant Crest. I actually never finished it. How are we feeling? Yes? No? Maybe so? Just make it a little bit bigger and move some more lines off or down. It should be transparent. That's what I want it to be transparent. I just don't know how to get it to be transparent. It's a work in progress. We could try it for like one key and then decide. I got Ghost Chat, and it's supposed to combine both my Twitch and YouTube, but it is currently not combining either of them. I use Claude. Move it to the middle and put WoW in the corner. LOL. That's not going to work. But like currently I can't see YouTube, so it's not actually working the way I want it to. Yeah, well look, technically speaking, I'm a grandpa, okay? Technically speaking, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just a grandpa. I don't know how to do this stuff. But if anybody wants to help me, I have my overlay is now Ghost Chat. How do normal people do it? How do streamers do it if not this? Like, where the hell do they put it? Well, because like some people have their chat together. How do they? What do they do? Not anymore, Sam. It's okay now. It used to not be okay, and that was a thing. That's why I never did it originally, but not anymore. Ready check. Hi, Wolfie, hi. Well, hi, good luck. Hello there. Taking my first mythic yesterday, got carried. It totally counts, Swishy. Take the win, take the win. All right, everybody ready? Did you try maybe asking Google AI right as I'm headed to bed? Hey, HK. Hey, Static, what's up, dude? I'll do 21s later. I'm tired today, so I'm just gonna do some Brazil 20s or whatever it is. All right, look. I don't know if I like this. It's technically here, but I would rather have the bottom part show, not the top part. It's almost like I want it to be the bottom thing. Right click the app's top bar and wait. Right click the app's top bar, dashboard. Right click, so I go to settings, open settings, toggle the background to custom. Settings, what is this? What I do? I don't know what I did here. Now I can't even, oh fuck. Dude, the whole thing is bricked. I bricked the whole thing somehow. Whoa, my computer's off. Okay, hold on, wait. Settings, you got background, custom. I just see appearance. I don't see a thing for background. I see appearance. I don't see a background. Where's the, wait. Settings, accounts, plugins, about, Kofi. Where's background? Appearance. I just see appearance. What about you put your cam where the minimap is and show where chat is? I could do that, I guess, but I normally like having my cam there. The text should be double the size for each person's comment. Yeah, how do we fix this, though? How would we fix it? Yes, I agree with you. Get over the tank anxiety. I'm glad to hear that, Nick Woody. Honestly, tanks having anxiety. This is a game, and I'm really happy that I could do that. Bro, this is... we got to do key. This is wild. Hold up. We fixing something. We almost there. We almost there. Almost. It's almost here now. We're almost there. Almost there. Okay, go to the chat widget in Caster Labs. Got it. Look under the message style. Message style. Maybe mine's not updated. Select a theme that defaults to a transparent background. Appearance. I just see follow system. The hell does that mean? That would work, actually. That would work. That would definitely work. The question is, I don't know how to get it to work. Okay, hold on. Wait. If it is something, go to the chat widget in Caster Labs. I'm here. I can show you. I don't see anything. I just see appearance. Let me see. I see chatbot. Wait. Themes, shouts, timers, no settings. Hide commands and timers. Hide these from chat. Plus, hide another account. No. Dashboard. I only see dashboard, widgets, and alerts. I see docs for what it's worth. I don't see any of this though. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Settings. Okay, hold up. It's time to ask. It's time to ask the big resource. We're pulling out the big guns, and then we gotta do this key. Reply to Claude. How to get Caster Labs to be transparent background. To be transparent background. All right, here we go. It's so long since I used this app. Do the same. Caster, the stream, something in OBS Streamlabs. Can you give me a bit more context? Are referring to Caster Labs chat, right? It's a doc in OBS. No way Claude gets this. Dude, Claude is really smart, man. Right-click the doc in OBS and look for any background opacity settings. Okay, right-click the doc in OBS. And then I have to look for set color, perhaps. Clear, custom color. Set color, custom color. Is there a way to make it transparent? Would that make the chat transparent, though? Let me see. If I go, like, red, black, that's not going to change anything, though. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, purple? No, that doesn't do anything. If not, go to Cast. Find your chat widget. Look for a transparent background or a background color toggle. If neither works, use it as a browser source instead of a doc. Then check Pages Transparent in the browser source settings. Browser source settings. Page is transparent. That's what I need to look for. Hide mixer. Okay, wait, hold up. Wait. That's what I didn't dock it, apparently. That's the problem. So option 3 is use the cleanest solution. Grab your house live chat URL, paste into a new browser source. Okay, wait. Where is page is transparent? Bro, I got this. Okay. You are... Yo, what's up, Anthony? Key equals hold. No. We're getting there soon. Okay, wait. Click properties. Okay, scroll down. There's a checkbox that says page is transparent. Neither of these are working. Literally none of this is here. I apparently just have an outdated something. I think I just need to update Caster Labs because this just isn't working right now. What's a good ref for pugs on 18? You have to start doing some stuff, but I still don't think you overpull 18. Bro. All right, 2 options. Number 1, no chat on screen for this. What do you think? What do we think about that for now until I figure it out? Because it's not working the way I want it to work. Thoughts, concerns, questions, comments? What do you think? I feel like that's better, yeah? I feel like that's the better thing? Okay. I can't figure it out. After this. We do after. I'll do it after this. We do it after. Let's get it. Let's get it. Ready, checkouts. Let's go. Pull timer. Pull timer. Pull timer. We go again later. All right. What's up under the sun? What's up under the sun? Dude, I'm supposed to go under the sun, I'm pretty sure. I'm supposed to be like spending time outdoors or whatever it is. Is healthy or something. Dude, my health has been all over the place. Where's healer? Surge? He's right here. All right, ready. Boom, 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 boom. Bear with 4 DPS. I mean, this is a 20. If I die here, I'm bad, and I'll blame ping. Fix after the key. All right, thank you, Philip. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I can't figure it out right now, so we'll just do it after key. Also, my nameplates are off. That's a problem. Do. Boom. Go like here. Go like there. Tag this. Tag that. Boom. Put the lunar beam down. Put this thing down. Do. Sundering roar at 5 stacks. 1 more stack. Then you go like this. We did actually. We did plus 20 Mysara Caverns, and then we finished a 20 AA, but we didn't have time in the 20 AA, unfortunately. That would have been crazy if we had timed 20 AA like that. What's up, Whitefire? I saw you list a 21 earlier. How'd it go? I didn't really want to push today at 21s. I'll do some 21s later. Like, I think the 21s I did before were pretty chill as a tank. Like, I just have to execute the routes and play pretty well, but it didn't go well. Yeah. They're hard. 21s is kind of that limit right now. I've done a few now. Someone butt pulled. That's unfortunate. Do you think I could get a dispel? We have like 2 different dispel. There we go. That's the one. That's the one. That helps a lot. Missed a little spell reflect there. Oh, this Lich is very alive. Holy shit. I didn't realize this Lich is super alive. Wow, wee, do. Those were pretty synced, but it's all good. We have no prio damage. Also, I'm pretty sure I forgot to buff the group. I find I have to dispel in Mythics as a bear. There are some moments where it's absolutely worth it. Like in this dungeon, for example, I should be curse dispelling. As to help with it, though. Yeah, I don't know if he plays. I'm actually not sure. I'm pretty sure he plays it, but I'm not 100%. That's okay. It just means that I will have Incarn here. So we're going to go pull this. And then I just send a little like this. Like a bam. And then we have plenty of ways to get out of this, though. No, I do not, Voth. Basically, no mangle. Somebody will get the Nether Burst, right? Okay, cool. There's no mangle in this build. It is a DPS loss if you decide to do it. If you really want to mangle, you can. It's not like the craziest thing. It's a very small optimization for DPS. It is probably a survivability increase to be mangling because you would max out your Iron Fur, but I don't even mangle on single target, no. When I made this build, it was never meant to be a turtle build, and so the whole point of me playing like this is because I like playing like this, not because it was meant to be like a brain-dead, super easy way to play. It's just my preference. I made this on beta, although it was popularized after the buffs made it, like, proper, right? The idea, though, behind the build was always that it was just going to be something that I enjoyed doing. And so I tried to max the damage of it, not the other way around. So, like, this was very intentionally a build that I was trying my best to do max damage on, and I figured out that Mangle was actually a DPS loss. Now, not to start drama or anything like that, but a lot of people didn't realize that that was the intention behind the build. And so when I was playing this even before the buffs, it did less damage, but we timed all the keys that I was doing. Like, very few keys were lost. I think like maybe a few where if I had just played Apex early on, we would have timed him, but this build was always viable. A lot of people didn't understand the why I was doing it because they never asked me, like, well, hey, why are you playing this way? And so without the context behind it, I remember, like, the Guardian Druid Discord was like, yo, why are you, like, he's not even mangling, like, he's so bad. And it's like, but that was an intentional decision. He's like, his iron for uptime is lower than the Apex build. Correct, because that was intentional. There was a lot of miscommunications, and I think there was a lot of, like, hates and vitriol. I don't know why. They don't like me in there. A lot of comments in there. I think at some point I got to make a video about that, probably. I think at some point I should make a video about class discords, to be honest with you. I have people saying guys still stay to mangle. Yeah. I mean, so it's like if you mangle, it's not the end of the world. The truth is both work. Like if you want to mangle in this build, you'll have less lunar beam uptime, you'll do slightly less damage, and you'll have higher iron for uptime and slightly more warrior and slightly more incarn uptime. Both of them are completely valid. Saying one doesn't work and one does work is the wrong thing, actually. I have a preference. Like, I want to do big numbers. You can see my damage in this key right now is quite high. I'm at 240k overall currently. This is post-nerf. That is my preference. I like doing big numbers. And so if I'm going to play this build, as long as I can live, I would like to do good damage. If you want to just be immortal, then you can swap some talents around and be even tankier. You can totally do that. Hello again. Hi, Grim. Yeah, definitely come to Twitch right now. I thought for today I finally figured out how to combine my chats, but I'm going to have to figure it out later. We're going to have to figure it out another time. I really thought I had it. Like, I got to figure it out later. But basically, ideally, I'm going to find a way to get an overlay for both Twitch and YouTube so that I can talk to people who want to hang out with me on the YouTubes. I really enjoy being able to talk to people on stream. It's actually, I'm not lonely without stream, but like I was feeling really tired today, which means that maybe I'll do like a smaller stream or maybe I'll have to do more jumping jacks to just keep myself active and awake. The idea, though, is that for me, stream is such like an impactful, important part of my life. When I don't stream, I feel lacking. It's weird. Like, I don't know, like I'm so used to it now that I'm just weird now. Like, it feels weird when I don't stream. And it's like, how does this work? You're very talkative. You're very talkative despite doing the dungeons. I enjoy talking to people. I would rather have less IO and be able to communicate with people while I do keys than have max IO and not be able to talk to people, Wolfie. Because I don't go outside very much. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like going outside to hang out with people. But I kind of inherently believe that humans are social creatures. So unfortunately, I do need to find a way to socialize, even though it's not really my thing. I kind of have to find a way, so this is my preferred method of socialization. Because, like, you can't really not talk to people, but if I can talk to people online while I'm doing Mythic Plus, then it's good. If I talk to people offline while I'm not doing Mythic Plus, then it's bad. That's how that works. I picked my Prot Warrior and started Guardian Druid. I love it. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I actually think so. I was thinking about whether I do Prot Warrior or Prot Pally next. I think there's a world where I'd want to play almost every tank to like a Resil 20. Many people, I don't let the haters get to me, but on the other side of things, I kind of want to prove the haters wrong. And a lot of people are like, why do you move like that on Bear? It's like, because I enjoy it. I like taking backshots in World of Warcraft. And one of the cool things about Bear is that the positional requirements on this tank is significantly reduced compared to other tanks. So while I am playing Bear, I actually get the opportunity to not worry about my positioning. But while I play other tanks, I will actually be very aware and hyper cautious of where I'm standing and how to not get hit in the back. But it's an enjoyment, something I seriously just enjoy, that I don't have to worry about that when I play Guardian. It's probably one of my favorite things about this tank, in fact. Must send SI on this next slash. Yeah, it's actually one of the things about that, right? That's actually one of the reasons I enjoy Guardian, is because the positional requirements, I get to take that part out of my brain, which is great. I actually recorded a video recently, like when I say recently, I mean today, this morning, before I started stream, with an MDI competitor, somebody who competed in the MDI. We talk in big leagues, guys. He was an actual competitor. And I got to ask him about how he structures the polls, what he does. It was really cool, actually. Like how much thought process goes into it, how they decide to play the comps that they decide. Like I got to ask all the cool questions, you know? But one of the biggest things was just cognitive bandwidth. Not Squish. No. It was Shindig. Shindig's super cool. Shout out Shin. W Shin. He's cool. So I got to talk to Shindig about it, and I was just like, hey, how do you guys come up with this shit? Because he played on the first weekend too, so we couldn't like copy other people's strats. And it was a really cool video. I'm really happy, and I'm excited to share that with you in a few days. Do you pug all your keys? Pretty much. I would say at this level, I do pug them, as in I don't play with the same people right now. However, they're on my friends list. That's an important clarification when people ask, do you pug your keys? It is hyper important that we clarify. Technically, yes. Although actually, CC one for a funnel. There you go. That's the strat. That's the one right there. There you go. Yeah, we got to lust this. Is it true you're working on, what is it you're working on that's something cool? What do you mean by that? Can you clarify with me what you mean by something? What did I say? I was working on something cool. Oh, so what I was saying was, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, well. But yeah, so I pug, but there one or two people in the key is probably on my friends list. That was the announcement that I'm working on something cool. I want to make, very soon, I'm going to come out with an excellent Omega Giga Hype video. But it's not ready yet, and I don't want to tell you what it is yet, because it's a spoiler. There is something I want to work on. I just don't have the time nor the mental bandwidth at this current moment in time, though. Oh, the testing something new. Dima, that is what you're referring to in Discord. Yes. Okay. So the test is this. I wanted to try to figure out if I could get my chat to actually show so that people could talk to each other. Since my whole point of my stream is the opportunity to talk with people, and I really enjoy that, then that's going to get tagged for sure. We just pull it in now. It's okay. So I enjoy being able to talk to people, but sometimes I feel like there are a lot of people who watch on YouTube and they get excluded because I can't, first of all, interact with them because of just the... Is it going to be this forge or the other one? That's a weird placement for this. I'm hoping it's the left one. Oh, I chose right. Congratulations, me. So I can't really engage with YouTube because it's not on the chats are not combined. So the experiment was going to be figuring out a way to combine them. And I did that at the start, couldn't figure it out. So after this key, I made the group. So after this key, I will try my best to figure that out. Yeah, basically, that's the experiment. So that also you guys can talk to each other, since I think that's kind of cool. I think it would be cool for everybody to be able, because like I enjoy the actual conversations we had. I posted a video of one of the really important ones recently. It didn't do well in terms of like views or in terms of analytics, but if I'm streaming and I have a platform that people all come and we hang out together, I want to be able to talk about things that are important to me. One of the things that's super important to me at this moment in time is just straight up how we talk to each other, decent, like human decency, the fact that we have a certain lack of kindness in today's world, especially in the online space. I don't like that stuff. I want to be able to address as much as I can. Like it's a conversation I'm quite passionate about because I think that there's a lot of judgment, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of vitriol, there's a lot of you got to play this build, you got to play that build in WoW, but also in life. People always tell you have to act a certain way, and there's a lot of truth to some of that. There's also a lot of not truth to it. Anyways, we had a good conversation about not judging people for using some language that you might not enjoy, and I posted that as a YouTube video. I want to do more of that. And I would like people to be able to engage in the conversation. And part of that, in my opinion, is being able to combine the chats so that everyone can feel like they're participating, you know? Because that part of that conversation, though, is that there are different perspectives, and all those perspectives are not only valid, but important. It's actually important that we hear from people who have a different perspective than me or than you. because it defeats the entire purpose of a conversation like that if we're all just sitting here and we're like, okay, you know what I mean? If we're all sitting here, is that blast going to go off on me? Oh, that looked like kind of close. All right, we pull this with here. If we have a conversation about tolerance or about not judging, and then the only people who are able to participate in the conversation are the ones with the same perspective, come on, man, one kick. One kick, it's a one tap. The kick. I'm pretty sure you have to reset. I'll hold my kick for it then. I'll hold my kick for it. It's okay. It's a one tap if that goes off. I won't kick that pull then. That's okay. We have to reset the key. That one taps you if you pull it with the grave blade. This just always tank kick. Yeah, I know. I always kick as I walk through for gathering, Sam. In general, because I gather that, I kick the first cold wraith so it doesn't one tap somebody as I walk through. But everybody missed the kick. So when I first gather that pull, I kick this so that no one else gets it. That's okay. I'll just save it in the future. Yeah, I'll save it in the future. But that's fair, Sam. If it's try to combine actual chess against TOS, not anymore, Dima. Not anymore. It's not against TOS anymore, as far as I know. Oh, we lost our healer. Using like window or application capture? So as far as I know, Dima, it's not anymore. It used to be. If you tried prot pally, I want to soon. I wanted to let this up though. I think Resilient Key should be only up to 18. That's actually fair. I'm not a huge fan of the Resilient system. I don't think. I think I liked it when keys were not as resil. I think that it encouraged better play, in my opinion. Although I benefit from the system, so I can't criticize it too much. But I actually appreciated that. Trash, you want to come heal this? You want to come heal this before I just take whoever, Ash? It's NA ping that we're on. Is he playing Execution Sentence? He is playing Execution Sentence. Come. Oh, wait a second. You're not a Mistweaver. It will make the timer hard. Oh, you're in a group. Unfortunate. All right, I just take this guy. Dima, I'm almost positive that you are allowed nowadays to do it. Outside of boosting perspective, I'll go. Damn it. This comp really likes a Mistweaver, but we should be able to time 20 with double Shaman if you're confident. You're not Mistweaver, right? That guy was good. He's a good Mistweaver. So, anyways, Dima, are you sure? Can we, like, super clarify this? Because as far as I know, it is very allowed now. Am I wrong? Okay, so I think I need to somehow update Caster Labs because it was not working before. Looking right now, thanks. Caster Labs caffeinated. This one. It appears to be what you're sipping on, electrolyte water. That's why I've been so sick recently. I've been like super lightheaded and almost fainting and stuff. What trinkets you use for Guardian? Currently, just this Onseer that I haven't actually finished upgrading yet because I don't have enough of the items, and Heart of the Wind. These two trinkets. Although I could replace this because I'm not a huge fan of haste right now, to be honest. Ash wants to come heal. Let me give her a shot. Might do that. Sorry, Fago. Hold up. Sorry, Toki. Let me just tell this healer. Friend coming. You do not use third-party services that combine activity from other levels as emerging child, including it. I'm almost positive that is not a thing anymore. Adema, as far as I know, that's outdated. But I am not 100% sure. It is against the TOS? We sure? How sure are we? Currently? Ash, do you know the answer to that question? That's the link. On Twitch, it's actually the official one. Really? But like, are we sure? Hold on, let me ask somebody. I really was quite convinced that it was fine. No, I mean, I know it used to be, but I've heard from like so many people that it's absolutely fine right now. I've heard, but it's like everyone does it, no? Like, doesn't like every top streamer actually just straight combine chats now? Oh, am I wrong on that? Am I wrong on that? I have no idea. We'll give this a shot. The comp is definitely a little bit weird, but the timer on 20 shouldn't be hard. We were missing a ton of prio damage in the previous thing, though. Not that I've seen. I've never seen them combining for themselves. Interesting. I have no idea. Well, I was trying, Dima, if you can figure this out, I was trying to use something called Ghost Chat. And that would be my own transparent overlay so that I can combine them, because currently I can't see YouTube chat. So if you're on YouTube and you're trying to talk to me, like I actually just straight up can't see it. Let's kick Fago. He's my guildie. Get him out of here. I feel bad. We had that last key very easily. We just missed the kick on me. It's a one tap. I thought we would get the kick because that was the only kick casting, but we all had overlapped on the previous thing. Myself included. I could have kicked it. I could have kicked it as well. What's up, Happy? Can you open like one talent for it? Yeah, of course, of course. Can you play Boomy? Yeah. This is the talent here. It's in Discord too. If you want any of this stuff, all my talent builds and stuff here, all talents linked in Discord. Boom, like this. You can always find everything here. I want to update my routes more too. I think some of the routes are outdated. All right, let's go. I don't think the timer on 20 will be hard, so it should be fine. You don't need like a meta comp for this. It should not be required. Because we're playing with a warrior and without it, like, if it's weird, then it's weird. All right, ready? Good morning, boss. When you play Resto Shaman in this comp instead of a Mistweaver, you casually lose like 40k DPS overall, maybe 50k. So if the timer is tight in a clean run, then we can replace, but I think it'll be fine. I also lose a lot of damage. Post your Mog in Discord? Yeah. You don't put it in Furry Friends, though. Emil, just put it in general, to be honest. You could post Mogs in Discord. Hey, Daedalus. I'm sick. Like, how do I say this? All right. I am not doing well right now. Interestingly enough, I'll openly say that I'm actually doing not well. There was a medication interaction which has caused me some grief recently. When I say grief, I just mean it's been has not been feeling fantastic. We got to get a kick on that caster. Somebody will bring it in eventually. You can combine the chats for personal use, but not publicly. Interesting. All right. I mean, I don't want to mess with TOS. I misunderstood, and that's my bad. I will not combine the chats then. My apologies. I won't do that. I thought it would be nice. I thought it would be a nice little thing, but all good. Don't have to do it. But I still want to learn how to combine it for myself then. I guess personal use is just, I need Ken to dispel me. Like, eventually I will die, because I'm going to get a lot of stacks on this pole if it doesn't die on time. And it is living for a very long time. Ken, dispel me. Dispel me. Dispel me, please. I have 30% reduced maxed health. I'm gonna die to this. I got a SI. Holy. The spell. I took 34 stacks. Not sure, I swear. That's what I thought, Meat Seeker. That's what I'm confused about, too. But I don't want to mess with anything. I'm very much a rule follower. It would be my misunderstanding, and I would not want to chance that in any way, shape, or form. My stream is a particular, my stream is very important to me, so you know what I mean? Third-party add-ons to combine the chat for your own viewing cannot combine and have chat interacting with it across different platforms. I really thought that that was not the case, but I would have to confirm with somebody who would know more than me for what it is worth. I don't know the answer to that question. I have no idea. That was a 2-minute poll. So technically speaking, our timer would seem suspicious to say the least, because normally I get to this poll and I do not have Incarn up. So we're slow by a lot right now. OBS will display multi-stream chat on your end. Nah, Jade. So the only reason I can communicate with people is because my chat is currently right here. Another burst, I'll kick it. My chat is right here. See what I'm hovering over right now? That's my chat. I have it as a transparent overlay. But the thing is, I want to get YouTube chat on here for me to see so that I can communicate with people who are typing there as well as people who are hanging out with me on Twitch. I enjoy having conversations with people, and for the longest time, although I multi-stream, I don't actually get the opportunity to talk to people on YouTube that often. Do you not multi-stream through? I do multi-stream through OBS, but I'm not trying to project it through to everyone, although that was actually one of the ideas I had today, and apparently I can't do that, which is fair. I will respect the rules. Rule follower here. Absolutely fair. My misunderstanding. But I want it for me. Like, I want to be able to see the things, if that makes sense. That would be the idea here, is that I would like to be able to see everything. So it'll display YouTube chat for me. It's a doc. But no. If it's a doc, that means it's through OBS, right? I'm not trying to get it through OBS. I'm trying to get it only for me as a transparent over. I'll show you in a second. If you give me a second after this key, or if we wipe, I will show you, okay? Yeah. As long as I'm the only one that can read it. Understood. I will be more cautious of this in the future, and I apologize for the 5 seconds that I misunderstood that rule. It'll be no. I have to. It's not basically no second monitor. Originally, I got this because I didn't have a second monitor for a long time, so I'm not basically no second monitor. I'll explain it in a second. I just have to actually enable a screen capture for you to see it, and then you would understand. Unless we're wiping here, in which case, yeah, exactly. So how can I stream without a second monitor? I have one now, but I basically don't use it. Like, I technically have stream open on the second monitor, but I thought I got this thing. It's supposed to work. It's just not currently working. I'm not really sure, though. Have you heard of Dojo, like, on WoW? You mean the Dungeon Dojo? The Discord for people who are learning and stuff? Whoop, this is going to be a reset, I think. I think this one reset. I think this one, no, reset. Reset. All right. Everybody be respectful. This is a reset here. We are slow, by the way. We're quite slow. I think that it is resilient. I think it's okay, but we have to do this, though. Not just early deaths. It's just the comp is also kind of troll. Like, playing a warrior without a monk is weird. He loses a lot of damage. I show you. Ready? I will explain this. Are you ready? Here. Everybody say hello to your mother. So while we're in a key, this is what I see. It's just not what you see, okay? So, for example, everybody ready? 3, 2, 1. I could do the entire key like this, but it's annoying. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Say hello to your mom. So this is the example of what I see. When I'm in a key, I just want to figure out a way to get YouTube on here as well. Because if you say hi to your mom on Twitch, this is what I see. You see? So this is how I do the key, so that I can communicate with people as I do this. Easy? Yeah, my mom's awesome. You should totally say hi to my mom. She is the coolest. She's awesome. She's like she's a giga mom for sure, 100%. So while I'm doing key, this is what I see. But there was another software that I was supposed to use to basically get it so that YouTube will also appear on here. I was on a single monitor for a long time, and now I have a second monitor. Yeah, the only thing is that, remember, I can't click through this. So if I'm ever in a poll and I accidentally do this, then I'm not in game. Yeah, that's how I communicate with people. Correct. This is how I do it. This is how I'm able to talk to people. You saw in the chat with that side. Yeah, if I had to, because I'm tanking 20s and stuff. I do this on 21. Like, why not? You can't tank you can't tank plus 20 and also do key at same time. That's not, you know, like that would be impossible. There's no way I could be like this and like this and like this, because I also tank and heal. Like both of the, you could DPS like that. You just can't tank like that. That would be, that wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So that's the idea behind it. I just want to figure out a way to get YouTube on here as well. Does that make sense? Because, like, yeah, but, like, that's why I keep saying, like, my priority when I stream is to be able to talk to people, not to necessarily get IO, but I also like doing keys. So I don't want to be not getting IO. What's up, Requiem? Is there a plugin or something that makes it click through? It's not click through is the problem. I can make it click through, but sometimes I have to move it in the middle of a key, so I have to be careful about it. I basically just can't click through. It's also why sometimes I do weird keyboard movements that a lot of people are confused about, because sometimes I have to basically just position my camera so that I can see like this. It does impact gameplay like a tiny bit, but it's not the end of the world. I feel like it's totally doable. All right, I'm going to have to talk to Kent about... Oh, there you go. I got a dispel. Nice. Nice. I actually got the dispel. I guess I'm used to it now. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. It's a skill for sure. I think that it's something I take a little bit of pride in it. I like the fact that I'm able to talk to people because, you know... Tanking, although it's a role with a lot of responsibility, I've been doing it for a very long time, and sometimes I totally make mistakes. Sometimes I make mistakes because I'm distracted and I'm streaming. Sometimes I do it because I'm lightheaded and I'm tired. Of course, everybody makes mistakes when they're playing the game. And Faga chat and still tank 20s? Yep. I also play with 250 ping. Now, actually, you guys want to hear some news? Ideal comp for Bear Pugs would be? Bear, Mistweaver, whoever. Bear, Mistweaver, and then whoever you want. That's it. That's the entire comp right there. As long as you play Bear, Mistweaver, you are chilling. Your responsiveness while tanking high key is always amazing. Thank you. I enjoy being able to converse with people, but I know what my priorities are. I think that the thing is, if you're confused about what your priorities are, then I could understand why it would be like, yo, like what's going on here? But for me, my priority is, and always has been, just the ability to communicate with people. That is the most important skill. Growing up, watching Naruto and stuff, I always felt like I was Gaara, but I always wanted to be Naruto. And so basically, I didn't want to be like dark and broody and mysterious. I wanted to learn how to be open and communicative and talk to people. And so that's the skill that I prioritize. And so that's like what I try to do when I stream, you know? Talk to people in the stream alone. It's a skill that I take a lot of pride in. Like it's something that you can learn and work on. It isn't actually a given. I was not born with this ability. Like I was not born with this. You've been Shikamaru your whole life. That's not a bad. I mean, Shikamaru. That's a pretty solid. If that's your role model right there, I don't think that's a bad thing to be like Shikamaru. Just be careful about religious people. Well, no, hold up. Sorry, that was a bad joke. I was talking about Hidan, obviously. I was trying to make a Hidan reference, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to. That's my bad. I don't get bear stats. There is a deep dive for secondary stats, like a literal 13-minute video exploring the secondary stats on my Patreon for free if you so desire. If you want to understand a lot of people significantly misunderstand Guardian Druid secondary stats, okay? It is definitely something that no one really gets. I would love to help you break it down and understand it, but there is a video explaining it. Because secondaries are like, everyone just kind of follows everyone else instead of actually understanding why they are good or bad. They're also just not that impactful. Item level over secondaries always if you're a Guardian Druid. Guardian Druid can benefit and does benefit from all forms of secondary stats, so you don't have to worry about it. You tried for years and just can't do it due to psychological barriers. The main thing that I learned in my life, Tuller, is the fact that... How do I say this? when I was younger, everybody always told me, let me repeat what you said first, okay? The main reason, let me just repeat this first. You said you can't move forward in your life. You cannot get this skill because of psychological barriers. The main thing when I was younger that I was always told was that you cannot do this. You will never be able to do this. You will never be able to be independent. They told my parents when I was young that I would simply never, ever, ever find the skill set to be independent. I would always need a caretaker because I had low functioning autism and I had effectively no ability to even tie my own shoelaces until I was 14, 15 years old. I had very poor motor skills. I couldn't operate on my own. I didn't know how to talk to people. Whenever I got overwhelmed, I would bite people. I had very, very, very poor social ability in every aspect. Communication, so like just reading cues. Like I had complete facial blindness. I mean, 20 hours of cognitive behavioral therapy a week from when I was younger. That was just holding up a flashcard saying, hey, is this person happy or sad? Hey, is this person upset or is this person like literally like, you know what I mean? Like it was just, that was my life for a very long time. And if I truly believed at any point that I couldn't do something, then it was going to be GG's because that's what I was told. You have to, at some point, realize that is a perspective and that the human capability is infinite. Let's assign some kicks and then we can continue this conversation. All right. So another burst went off. I'm going to assign kicks. Also, may have to change comp a little bit. Hold up. I may have to change a comp slightly if we want to make this easy. We will be here for a while. Well, technically speaking, it's fine, but like we would be here for a very long time. We need a devour. Oh, we don't need. It's not a need. 1 second. First of all, let me assign the kick. No, it's not on healer. Healer can't kick it. It's on DPS. Double shaman is not the player. Sorry. Friends. No. The healer can't do it. Did I ever end up answering how I ended up in Thailand? No, but I will gladly talk about it here, though. Let me go. It's better for comp. You could heal Ash. It's okay. No problem. I think the Ellie Shami will. I think we just replace Ellie Shami for Devour, and then it's a good comp. The rest, nothing wrong with Resto Shaman Ash. You're fine. But it will make this easier. We'll have like an extra minute or two on timer, so you don't have to play perfectly. I think your neurodivergence is superpower for your tanking. I agree. I also think that, by the way, for me at this point, though, as of right now, I am very happy that I had all the challenges that I had when I was younger. It's something that I actually am excited about. Like, I'm happy that I had those issues, not sad. Because they enabled me. I'm so glad I went through all that early. I don't say that negatively. I just say it as my life was an impossibility. Everything that I have today, I shouldn't have. If I had accepted that. And that's one of the things that I would hope that I could communicate over time to people is like, don't give up hope that you could learn and grow and experience in ways that you just don't realize that you have access to right now. There's so much that you can do and so much that you can learn. What you need is information and the right environments and access to the tools that will enable you to be whoever you want to be. You don't need a miracle. You need information. Why do I look like the Deep? Bro, I have no idea. I think the Deep looks like me. He's actually older than me, so I don't know. I think the Deep looks like me. I also think the Deep at one point in his life dislocated his AC joint. You want to know how I know that? In the last episode of The Boys, there is a shot of him, and it's a very particular thing. His shoulder AC joint is showing in that particular scene, okay? So watch this. Here we go. So I think that that's a clinical sign that at some point he had dislocated that joint, because there's an extra bone if you watch one of the more recent episodes of The Boys, like 2 episodes ago. And I was like, that's a classic sign that he at one point, maybe he played like football, I don't know, but he at some point dislocated his shoulder for sure. The thing is, though, for every story like yours, there are 20. Oh, yeah. Most of the kids that I grew up around, Jeskers, are not here today. That's why my story is an impossibility. Because the vast majority of the kids that I grew up around they're not here. Most of the friends that I had when I was younger they died. Because I had significant medical problems, and I grew up in the hospital, and I grew up in different medical programs that were tough. I had statistically, I shouldn't be here. My story is not meant to be that everybody can do this. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? That's not the point of my story. But the point of my story is certainly don't give up hope. All right, who do we want to take? Who do we want to take for this? Sensitive time is an insensitive thing. Oh, no, Beef. Oh, no, you're totally fine. No problem. This is, if you're newer to my stream, Beef, this is just how it be. I navigate these topics because my brain works like this. It's like a conveyor belt. You know, like a conveyor belt? You ever see that old classic clip of the what is it from the show with the chocolate factory? There's like a conveyor belt of chocolates, and she's like eating all the chocolates from the conveyor belt. It's a classic clip. I just don't remember exactly where it's from at this moment in time. And that's my brain. So I have a thought, it happens here, and then while I stream, it comes out here, and very occasionally, I love Lucy, that's the one. I am extremely concerned that I'm going to say something I'm not supposed to say, because for what happens, right, is I think a thought, I say the thought, and then I go, uh-oh. And it's a great quality in terms of being honest and genuine. It's a terrible quality at family dinners. My brain works a little differently than other people's brain. Tristan wants to come on a DK. We could play whoever. It doesn't really bother me what we play. I was kind of thinking Vols wants to come on an assassination rogue. I remember this guy. I remember this dude. I don't mind either way. We can play whoever here and then just see how it works. Very interested in the Thailand lore. All right, let's go over the Thailand lore here. Yeah, we'll take Tristan for this. Sure, why not? We'll see what this happens, though. Such good funnel. What's up, Suddy? I actually played with one a few days ago. He was good. He did some 21s. Boom. Amazing for dating shows. I was on a dating show, Requiem. Oh, that's what you're referencing. All right. So, for what it's worth, though, I bumped into your stream and heard your stories. Thank you, King J. I appreciate it. I'm happy to talk about my life, but I don't want my life to be an example of an outlier. Like, if I can figure it out, I do believe that other people can also figure it out, but you have to go through your own journey to get there. One thing I don't like is if something works for me, it does not mean that it will work for you. I hate hate's a strong word. I dislike people who are like, bro, I started intermittent fasting, changed my life. You have to do this. It's like, it worked for you, which is great, and you can suggest it as an option for somebody else, but that person might have blood pressure issues or blood sugar issues, and they're going to faint every morning, and they're going to have a terrible time trying. So it's just because it works for you doesn't mean it will work for other people. But the one thing you can glean from other people's stories is the fact that there is hope, because somebody found a way, which means you can find a way. That I do believe. Does that make sense? I hate exactly, Wolfie. A lot of people think that I suffer, so you have to suffer, and it's a cause of a lot of strife on the internet because they're like, I'm having a bad day, therefore you're going to have a bad day. But Wolfie, do you know why people have that mentality? And then I will answer the Thailand story momentarily. I love Thailand, and I'll talk about it. Do you know why people think that? Here, I'll explain it, though, while we do this key. It's the hazing mentality. Yeah, but why? What's the mentality behind hazing? Hazing has like a certain amount of power to it. Power is one thing, but it's not actually that. There's something even deeper than the power of I suffer, therefore you must suffer. You want to know what it is? Fundamentally, All human beings want one thing. Misery loves company is the correct mentality behind why people feel the need to say, I suffer and therefore you must suffer. Why do people have that mentality? Where does it come from? It comes from the fact that fundamentally human beings are social animals and we need an element of connection. We do not, under any circumstances, want to feel alone. We need that. However, the modern world makes it quite difficult to understand where do we get it? How do we determine that connection? And so we do it in any way we can. But actually speaking, what we truly want is the ability to connect to someone else. And it is extremely easy to connect through misery. I feel bad, you feel bad, we can be friends. Sometimes, however, this gets taken to the nth degree, and that's a problem. Because sometimes I say, I don't know how to connect to you. I feel really bad. But if I make you feel really bad, then all of a sudden, we feel the same, and therefore I can connect to you. So a lot of times people will attempt to bring you down to their level so that they can actually communicate with you, although they don't realize that they're doing that. But I think that's the core of why people end up in that scenario. Exactly, Random. I think that too. I think that miserable people will drag other people down so that they don't have to suffer alone, because fundamentally, that is what human beings crave. It's what we feel as though we need. It's like a need, not a want, and therefore it's insidious. If you need something instead of want something, you will find a way, even at the expense of your own humanity. Because our brain is a very, very, very powerful thing. And it will basically convince you that you require this. Now, for what it is worth, the reason behind all of that and the thing about being genuinely kind is that kindness comes from having seen that maliciousness, having seen that suffering, and saying, I don't want other people to have gone through what I have gone through. But to do so in an authentic way means that you don't pretend it doesn't exist, but you don't define yourself nor others by their suffering. And this is hard to do. This is not easy to do because on the surface, you're like, that makes sense. Would you agree with that? What I just said? I mean, I'm pretty sure that most people here are going to agree with this, yeah? The idea that if you have truly suffered in your life, you don't want other people to suffer. And if you don't have a relationship with suffering, you might not have that mentality because you're like, nah, it's fine. You might not have that sort of empathy for other people. But if you have actually been through enough in your life where you're like, I've felt despair. I have felt completely hopeless. I have felt actually miserable. And sometimes things seem like they're not going to get better. Then you definitely don't want other people to feel like that because it's a terrible feeling. However, okay, and this is what's kind of interesting, I think, about this. Hold up, let me get aggro. I miss my thrash. Suffering builds character. I agree with you, but you have to have the tools to deal with the suffering. Otherwise, it just breaks you. So suffering builds character if you can process the suffering. If you can't process the suffering, then it just breaks you. It's almost like survivor bias to say suffering builds character. I agree for what it's worth. I am glad that I went through all of the terrible things I went through as a kid because I got to learn so much about my life and so much about other people, and it has given me an edge on everyone that I've ever met because I got to go through life or death situations when I was a young child. And I got to confront the reality that bad things happen in this world. And that has allowed me to develop a sense of kindness that I respect and admire about myself. It has allowed me to develop all of these things that I would not have learned without that suffering. But I also had, we pulled a lich, but I also had a family who had the finances to give me the medical care that I needed because I was super sick. because I also had access to 20 hours of cognitive behavioral therapy when I was 3 years old. Because I also had medical care that actually saved my life. Because I also had access. Dude, my whole life, any one of those things change, and it's GG's for me. There are many kids who were not that different than me. They're not here today. That's luck. That's not skill. That's not me learning through my suffering. That's literally just flat out luck. But I don't want to take it. I don't want to take that for granted because I had that luck, I think that I can help people. And that's really cool to me. So I want to use the luck. Luck is a skill as well, in a sense. But the last thing I want to sit here and say was suffering. The reason, I really built my character. It's like I got lucky. And a lot of people are not so lucky. Does that make sense? Any one of the factors in my life changes and I'm not here today. So I do think that that's an important thing. And in terms of how I moved to Thailand, it's actually a pretty similar story in terms of so when I was traveling here, I didn't plan to move to Thailand, by the way, whatsoever. We can get into this conversation now. I didn't plan to move to Thailand. I was actually just chilling. I was traveling with my best friend, and it happened to be that the full story, you want the full story or the, wait, so I'll ask you, you want the full story, by the way, or you want the, the half story? Which would you like? The full story involves it involves the Awu lore of how I ended up in that situation, not just the situation I found myself in. You want the full lore? Okay, all right. And let me answer the WoW question first then. If you are on YouTube right now, I have not figured out a way to combine my chats. All right, I'll give you the story. I got you. Just know that I haven't figured out a way to combine my chats. So if you want to participate in this conversation, you must come to the Twitch side of things if you are on YouTube watching this. All right. So how far back? Okay, so basically when I was an infant, no, I'm just kidding. That's actually too long. That's going to take me a while. Basically this, I finished high school a year early. When I finished high school, I wanted to start a business, and my business was actually that of public speaking. So basically what happened, okay, I was working with, you found a way to combine? Okay, tell me later, Dima. I'm going to go story time, although I think we're still fine on timer here, but it's looking a little bit suspicious. He's looking kind of suspicious now. All right, the concept. No, here's basically, I don't mind paying for it, Dima, just tell me. Okay. I was starting a business. That business completely failed because I got sick. I had an issue when I was living in Ohio for 2 years. I had just booked a massive event. It was absolutely giga. It was going to set me up on my career. I networked at an event. I went to a conference in San Diego at one point. It was like a social media conference. I was hired to MC a 4-day event, big event in Canada. They were going to fly me out, 5-star hotel, pay for my flight, everything. And on top of all that, it was going to basically set me up for future opportunities for public speaking and MCing and hosting and stuff like that. I was, as you can imagine, giga excited. I was 19 at the time. Like, this was a big deal. It was a lot of money, and it was really the thing I had been waiting for forever. I was hype. And then I had an eye infection. Sometimes I wonder if the universe was actually trying to send me a signal, because my life is so much better today, maybe having had that not go well. But basically, I got an eye infection. Super random eye infection, too. Never had this before. But basically, one of my eyes completely swelled up. Couldn't see out of it. And I was like, I'm a trooper. I said to myself, no problem. I'll do the event with one eye. I remember saying that. I was like, it's going to be fine. I only need one eye for this. But 2 weeks before the event, give or take, my other eye, the infection spread to my other eye. And I was basically blind for a few days because both of my eyes were like completely swelled. I could kind of open them, but not really. And I had to cancel the event. This was around May, and I was very distraught. You can imagine, like, that's the whole thing, was like, this was a big deal for me, and I had to cancel. What was I gonna do? Like, I couldn't travel. Like, I couldn't fly. I couldn't MC the events. I couldn't see out of my eyes. So I canceled last minute, which is like a black mark on your. It's a big thing. to cancel an event like that last minute. Like it's a very, even though it's a medical reason, I was overwhelmed at the time and I thought to myself, like, it's over for me. Like no one is ever going to hire me for another event because I had to cancel this. That's probably not true. And if I had stuck it out, I'm sure it would have been fine. But in the moment, I was like, I was really upset. Okay. So my life sort of fell apart. I became an emotional wreck. I didn't know how to process this level of failure. And I had been winning for a while, and then that happened, and I fell apart. My mom came out to Ohio to stay with me for a little bit because I was really not in a good way. She was there for a week, and she was like, I think you need to move back home. And I said, fair enough. So I moved back to LA with my parents. I basically wrapped up my life in Ohio. I accepted the failure, and that was now around August, okay? So now we're in August, and the thing to understand about this is I had nothing going on. Zero, nada. My business had just failed. Everything went to shit, and so I had nothing going on. And I think that is the background I need you to understand. I was starting to work odd jobs. So, for example, I was working as like a brand ambassador. You ever been to like a Costco and there's like the people selling things at Costco? It actually paid pretty well, by the way, but it was hard to book all the gigs. So I was working I sold like a macadamia nut milk at a Whole Foods one day. And then I smelled, sorry, Gifo, you distracted me. And then I sold like these like granola bars at Costco. And that was like my job for a little bit. I just sold things. So I had to stand in public and do the whole thing. And then I worked at like a Ralph's for a second and I just whatever. Point is, I didn't have anything going on. I had nothing to go back to for what it is worth, and therefore I made a decision when I was offered a round trip to Thailand. I was dating a mom for like a few months, but it was kind of a very casual relationship. So that was interesting at least. This is going to be tough. We got to put these a little better. Basically, though, my life was kind of shit. I didn't have a lot happening for me at that moment in time. Therefore, a few months after this, my best friend offered me a trip to Thailand, to Asia. They were like 2-month round trip, $450 flight. Do you want to go? And I was like, man, I've always wanted to go to Asia. I love anime. I was like a regular, I do, psych. I know this. So anyways, I decided to say yes. I'd never been to Asia, always wanted to go, and I was like, let's do it. This is terrible placement. Also, it's the wrong way. We got to place these better. This key is not going well, by the way. We are probably not timing it right now, just to clarify. Also, does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Whoa. We're restart. We're going to have to restart this. Okay. Let's place those a little better. One more it is. Okay, now you have the backstory. How did I end up in Thailand? What's the Thailand story? I was a 2-month round trip to Asia. November 7th, we landed in Singapore. Bro, have you ever been to Asia before? You ever been to Singapore, Thailand, any place like this? It's amazing. But I grew up in the US and I was always told that it was definitely not amazing. However, I was wrong. I was lied to. This is propaganda, man. Holy. This country is amazing. I landed in Singapore. The architecture, sublime. Buildings, never seen anything like it before. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. So I was in Singapore for a few days. Then I went to Cambodia. Then I went to Laos. Then I went to Vietnam. Then I went to Thailand. I was here for a week. I was just like, this is super cool. Never been here. What surprised me the most was the people. The people are the reason that I moved here. The culture of Thailand has something called sabai sabai. And I'm from LA. And in LA, everybody's so stressed literally permanently all the time. Nonstop. That's the whole theme. That's literally the point of being in LA. Everybody is so stressed all the time. No one's happy. Everybody's trying to figure out how to pay rents. And if you make $500,000 a year in LA, then you got to make $1 million. And if you make $1 million in LA, then you got to make $2 million. If you make $2 million in LA, then you got to make $3 million. It's never enough. There's no sense of contentment. And it's like your job is everything. And how much money you make matters so much to people. And it also separates you completely. And also this and also that. When I came to Thailand, nobody gave a shit. Like, people literally didn't even ask me what I did for work. They're like, what's your name? I was like, well, my name is Steven. What's your name? And they're like, my name is Oil. Like, really? Yeah, Thai people have weird nicknames. So it was a completely different environment. And I learned later that it was a culture difference, not just a people difference. But basically, in Thailand, there's this concept called Sabai Sabai. It is primarily a Buddhist country. Thailand is like 98% Buddhist. And I think that actually matters a lot because one of the things about Thailand is that people strive way more for contentment compared to other places that I have been. And I find this to be an absolutely interesting kind of driving force behind why Thai people are so kind, chill, and just overall, they enjoy their life. It seems to me that they enjoy their life more than others. And I'm really curious about this. Like, I was fascinated by this. Like, the whole point is I was fascinated by that. And I wanted to understand it. What's happening here? Hold up. We getting frustrated. What's happening? Okay, we reset. We should be able to grip him in, but all good. Was it a death that happened here? The next time I ever heard is the guy's really into cars, gave his twin nickname was Clutch and Gear. Is that a real story? That actually makes sense though. There's just the second caster. DK can grip second caster. All good. We chilling. DK can grip the caster. Is that what happened? Did the caster go off? It doesn't seem like that's what killed him, but okay. So, the reason that I moved here is because I wanted to understand this mentality. I wanted to understand how people had found this level of contentment. I was so curious about it. But yeah, I gotta take some salt. Make sure I move enough around. I've been feeling super lightheaded recently, so I gotta up my salt intake. Actions, deaths, boom. Oh yeah, it was just a bolt. Yeah, we just kick it in, it's fine. Y'all kick bolts, I save for a lich. Jumping jack time? Soon. Yeah, I should start working on the jumping jacks, that's a good point. Salt intake, Pug should do it? Maybe, Vlad. I don't know, I have a good time. I know everybody else is frustrated, but I'm chilling. People will tend to get really upset when keys don't go well, but I don't really understand exactly why, because sometimes they just brick. Like, it's just 20s are hard. We're not doing 10s. We're doing 20s. Simple mistakes, puddles, this, that, or the other. But I don't know. People get, like, really upset. Everybody starts pointing fingers. So, can we do this? If I gotta do this, we gotta do that. Brr, 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 brr. It's like, wait, hold up, wait. This game fun. It's chill. People make mistakes. All good. Not a problem. Me chilling. Also, this Brazil, so, worst case scenario, it's chilling. I actually do think I missed when keys weren't Brazil. I know I currently benefit from the system, but one of the things I like to pride myself on is that I don't tend to make... I could always optimize and play better, but in general, I like to learn keys to the extent that I don't tend to make that many giga mistakes. And so my success rate... I want to believe that my success rate for keys is high, and therefore if Brazil wasn't a thing, given the fact that I don't play 10 hours a day, I would have, relatively speaking, I would do better. Like, I think the Brazil system would technically benefit me for that. But I also think that Brazil is great for the game. That I don't want them to get rid of it. Greetings, Soul Soap. How's it going? Have to wake up the kids and make breakfast. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Also, hi, Allison. And here. Did you send me something, Dima? Thank you. I would love to. Stepson, thank you very much. Also, I am the sort of person, I am so okay with asking for help, like genuinely. Did I get a job? BB, good questions about Thailand. Let me answer them. So, when I first moved here, I had to figure out because I didn't plan to move here. And this is important. This is a really important part of the story. I had zero plans to move here. I literally got here with a tiny little suitcase that had basically nothing. Like I didn't actually, because it wasn't intentional. I didn't know I was going to move here when I got here. I was supposed to only be here for a few weeks. And then I canceled my return flight. I gave myself a month, basically. When I first landed in Thailand, I thought to myself, okay, I have never prioritized people in my life. I have always been hyper obsessed with achievement, moving forward, proving the fact that I could actually survive in this world. My childhood was complicated and kind of miserable, so I felt that I needed to prove myself intensely. Therefore, I was so achievement driven throughout high school and everything else that all I ever wanted to do was prove that I could exist in this world and that I had value. And I thought that me making more money would give me value. I thought, for example, that if I just accomplished more and bolstered my resume and got a full ride scholarship to college, and I thought all of that would give me value, and I was wrong. That actually isn't what determines my value at all. But at the time, for a long time, I did. Therefore, I never actually prioritized friends. I never, in high school, I never spent time with people. All I ever did was work. And on top of work, I tried to volunteer. And on top of volunteer, I did other things that were productive. I wanted to be valedictorian. I intentionally took summer school so that I could graduate early. Like I was just like so achievement driven that I never enjoyed my summer. I just literally all I did in the summer, I was like, can I take summer school to get extra credits so that I can graduate a year early? And they were like, I guess. No one's really ever asked that before. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. So I took summer school intentionally so I could finish high school in 3 years instead of more. And I did all this work. And if I look back on it, I'm not upset about it. I don't think that upsets me, by the way. I think that I'm happy I chose to do that early on. But if there was one thing I did wrong, it's that I didn't prioritize people. I should have prioritized people. People matter. Relationships matter. I learned how to talk to people, but I didn't learn how to foster friendships. I learned how to communicate, but I didn't learn how to be a friend. I have been in the majority of my life a bad friend. I didn't know how to show up for people. I knew how to be there for the important conversations because those mattered to me. I was the friend who would basically, when you had something really bad happen to you, I would show up at the hospital and I'd make you laugh because that didn't bother me. And I didn't care if you were hooked up to tubes or this or whatever was going on. I was very experienced with that. And so because most people get like super overwhelmed by that type of stuff, so they don't know how to respond to that situation, but I do because that's how I grew up. So, whenever bad things happen, there was a death in the family or some medical things happen, like I was there. But otherwise, I didn't know how to actually just be a friend. Like I never knew how to just show up and hang out. I only knew how to have serious conversations because that's how I grew up, and we are a product of our environment. My whole life was serious, and I didn't know how to just chill. Like I didn't know how to just exist. So when I came to Thailand and there was an entire culture of people literally just existing, I was like, bro, this is awesome. How do I do that? Because I've always wanted to learn how to just be. I've always wanted to learn how to just be here without feeling the need to be any other way. And that really matters to me. And that's one thing that I made the leap to move here because I wanted to learn. And I thought that this was the best place for me to be in order to accomplish that sort of next phase of my life. So that was a lot of the thoughts that went into the decision to maybe consider moving here. It was December. It was early December. My birthday's in January. I do not use an interrupt macro, by the way. I don't even use a cooldown manager. I just have it all in my head as I do this. I have no way to track like my uptime on things. I just know that bark skin is exactly how much it is. So when I came to Thailand, I decided to stay because all of these things lined up, and I thought to myself, this is where I need to be. But I was scared. I'd never been in a foreign country, really. Like, I never thought about moving anywhere else. Like, I was like, that was a crazy thing for me and my family. I remember I called my family and they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, I think I might stay. But in terms of finding work and how I coordinated all that, basically, another burst, holy, a good spirit link there. All right, so basically, when I got here, I needed to figure out my visa. I needed to figure out if I could even make it work. And I told myself this. I asked around. I was staying at a hostel, and I asked the people there, I said, hey, is it possible for me to figure this out? And they said yes. And I said, cool. Let me consider it. And I figured out, could I get work? And I basically worked as a substitute English teacher for a little bit. Made enough money to pay for things. At the time, this was like almost 9 years ago now, Thailand was a lot cheaper back then. It has become significantly more expensive, and it's not as easy to do this anymore. This was certainly easier back in the day. It is not as easier now. A hostel is like a really cheap hotel. The benefit of a hostel is the fact that everybody is hanging out, and so it's like a really good place to just meet people and socialize, especially as you're traveling, but it's a much cheaper. Like it's, you could get a private room at a hostel, which is more similar to the price of a hotel. But in general, a hostel is like there's a room of 8 bunk beds, and you're just paying a much cheaper price for being able to travel cheaper, if that makes sense. But you don't have like a private room. Don't watch the movie. The movie is not a good example of this, correct? Yes. So basically, it's like a bunk bed. There's like 4, 8 bunk beds. It's a way that some people travel. A lot of people prefer it. If you're a social, party animal, then you probably like it actually because you're always around people. But I asked the people who worked at the hostel whether or not I could find the visa and the work. And then when I first moved here, yeah. My actual decision, though, in terms of whether I would move to Thailand was very specifically, if I find people who want to celebrate my birthday with me, I will stay. That is what I actually decided. That was the defining thing. If I find people who want to celebrate my birthday with me, I'll stay. It was December. My birthday is in January. I had to make that choice. And lo and behold, my birthday came around, and guess what? I had a whole group of people, like 10 plus people who were like, what are you doing for your birthday? And I was like, this is new. I was like, this is really new. I found some people. I'm not in contact with them anymore. It's a pretty typical story of how we all kind of fell out a little bit. But at the time, they were my friends. I actually made friends, and they were the best friends I've had in pretty much my whole life because, like I said, I wasn't good at being a friend, and I learned how to be through that. So, yep, it was a super cool thing. I decided, for example, to stay because I found that group, and they convinced me pretty much that I should move here. I have never had an easier time making friends than since I've been in Thailand. It's actually so much easier for me to relate and connect to Thai people than it is for me to relate and connect to people of my own culture. I don't know why. I actually think that, so there's a saying in Thai I learned how to say when I first got here, which is, Huajai ben kon Thai, which is basically like my heart is Thai. And that's how I feel. I moved around a lot as a kid because I was in different programs throughout the US. And I never felt like I had a home until here. This was the first time that I ever felt like I was at home. This is the first place I've ever been where I feel like Thailand is my home. And I don't know, I've never felt that anywhere else. Keep in mind that this was almost 9 years ago. I'm still here. Now, obviously, I have like a long-term visa and stuff. But at the time, I just had, I didn't know how long I was going to be here. I had no idea. But you think back to it, and if you've been here, by the way, since I started telling this story, I don't know. You deserve a medal because I feel like it's been about 40 minutes since I actually started telling you the full story. I did ask some people, I asked you if you want the TLDR, if you want the full version. People were like, you want the full version. So here we go. This is the full version of the story. Now you know that I had nothing to go back to, first of all. And so I had the opportunity, right? But that was a big deal, is that I had no kids right, that I knew of, I had no reason to go back to the US on a specific time frame. And so that gave me the option to consider actually moving here. Yeah, well, you can never be too sure, Vlad. Freedom the DK, freedom the DK, freedom the DK. You gonna die. You gonna die. Nether burst. Not kick. How much you can achieve? Thank you, King. One of the things, like I said, about the fact that I went through everything that I went through as a kid is the fact that I learned early on I can do anything. The reason I can do anything is because literally nothing could be harder than what I had to go through as a kid. Like, that's the advantage of seeing. If you've really despaired in your life, the biggest advantage of having actually despaired, and I mean like really been in the throes of depression, is the fact that you've seen what it looks like when things don't go well. And therefore you have nothing to fear. Because you made it through that, didn't you? It sucked, but you won. And if you can win that, then you can win anything. That's a massive advantage. That's like super fucking cool, by the way. You know what, Live for the Dead? I'm gonna just give you a... fair enough on that story, but I will say that just be aware of the fact that my stream is not exactly the place for such comments. Please don't position the rock there, not like this. I'm gonna just give you like a... That's absolutely... I totally understand that a lot of communities would think that that's very funny. I don't think it's that funny. If you didn't know that about my stream, now you do, so no problem. Just be aware of the fact that I don't think it's that funny. And I don't think the people in my community would think it's that funny either. I will not ban you, but just know that this is not the right place for that type of comment. Okay, run. No, we're all dead. I think I maybe we need to reform the comp just a little bit for this. Wood edge. Which one is this? This was just an owie. This one was... You want to come, Suddy? I like Windwalker. I do like Windwalker. Yeah, it's all good. All good. I'm just chilling. I don't actually need this key. It's okay. I like Windwalker. I do. I think may refill calm just a bit. Just a bit. Let me see. He got hit by the thing, so that doesn't really count. That was also the thing. What does Pally need to freedom here? Oh, the gargoyle. So when the gargoyle picks people up, then that's what you want to do. What character do you play? I haven't played WoW in a while. I play everything, King. I'm an enjoyer of everything, for example. No problem. No problem. I'll see you later, Tristan. Mystic Touch does help. It does. Don't really push keys, so sorry if this is a dumb question. Doesn't make sense. No problem. Why are bigger pulls better in really high keys? Is it because you need the DPS for the timer? I would imagine the scaling would probably prohibit such huge pulls. That's a great question. By all means, feel free to ask those questions. That is A-okay. There is no such thing as a stupid question in my stream, by the way. I appreciate you asking, Warhawk. You can totally ask any questions like that. Do not worry. The reason you have to do bigger pulls is because there's only so much damage that you can do at the highest level. So there's basically a limit to that. Oh yeah, we didn't reset, my bad. So there's a limit to how much DPS you can do. Because everyone, for example, is going to be max geared. So you have only so much more damage you can do. At lower keys, sometimes you're playing with people who are 20 item levels less or have less gear, which means that they simply just won't do as much damage, right? Like, that's part of doing lower keys, is very simply that you're just going to be playing with some people like a plus 10 right now. Maybe you'll have people who are just 30 item levels less. If they're 30 item levels less, then realistically speaking, they're probably just not going to do as much damage. But at higher keys, you're going to have people who are effectively, you want to come, Suddy? I'm dead serious. I'll take you. But then we will need a Resto Shaman. You want to come? What's your item level right now? Tell me your item level first. Tell me your item level first. Also, you know how to use defenses and stuff? 286? Done. I'll take the Shaman. That's fine. We need a lust for this then. And so the reason that you need to do bigger pulls is very specifically because you need to progress through the timer of the dungeon faster. Yeah, Suddy's a Windwalker. He does not technically have score a ton, for what it is worth. You have defensives? No, you have defensives for sure. You definitely do. You have Fort Brew, you have Karma as well. Karma's a defensive. You're just going to have to actually use them. So Windwalker is a tough spec for Mythic Plus. So Warhawk, basically, you have to be efficient. Even if you got through this entire dungeon, if I didn't pull aggressively on a plus 20 and we only had one death, we probably wouldn't time it. We have to actually get to a point that we can time it, if that makes sense. Can't access your Discord. Oh, you should be able to. If the Discord isn't working, though, here, the macro Iron Fur is very simple. You just go like this. I got you. Macro Iron Fur right here. You just go like this, like a bam. Just like this. So just do hashtag show tooltip, and the show tooltip will allow you to just have the same icon here. Oh, let's see. Let's see how it goes. I'm chilling. I'm not fussing about it. Do we have another bot in here? There's so many bots in Discord now. There were like 2 recently. I don't know how to prevent them. I have the verify in Discord thing, but I don't know how to prevent them, man. It do be rough. All right, Dima here. Let me see. Ew, so this is the combined. You need to summon their Patreon. That's absolutely fine. I would have no problem paying for that Patreon sub. Patreon account to the link. Make sure you can use it. Go to doc, custom browser link. Are you sure that this would work the same way, Dima? This works as a transparent thing? Wait, did you pay for this and then use it so that you could just access it? That's cool. What's up, Callie? Everyone who's never tanked to following is having fun on No Apex now. Awesome. Let's ask chat for crafters. I mean, you can't craft cross server, so it doesn't matter even if somebody could craft for you, they wouldn't be able to. Just remember, until my health is a little better. Recently, I've had a bit of a health issue, just because of a medication interaction I didn't know about. So I have not been feeling my best. I will feel better over time. I need about a week or 2. So just so you know, I will not be doing long streams for a bit. As a way to take care of myself, I'm going to be hard chilling. I will still make Patreon videos and I'll still make YouTube videos for what it is worth, okay? I will not be streaming that much next week, probably. Like shorter streams at the very least, because I like streaming. Takes energy. I need to conserve my energy for my actual job and some other things. All right, let's go. Let's see how this works. Hey, Suddy, can I assign your kick? How would you feel about that? Oh, yeah, you're welcome, BBD. If you have any sort of... Wait a second. That is a 5,000 IQ play. Fair enough. been in here for an hour and I only caught it now. I literally didn't catch it until I said it really fast and I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh, well played. Basically, no, it's fine. The guy who asked about the Thailand story, he really likes big bear damage. That's all. No. He likes it's big bear damage. That's what he likes. That's all it is. I also, for example, I am also a huge fan of BBD. Big bear damage, I really like. You'll see on this pull, for example, I'm a pop off. Like, I'm going to do so much damage. I'm going to do a little Starfall tech here. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to make sure I bark skin here. I miss my Moonfire, no problem. We're just going to gather it in like so. And then here we go like this. And then we're going to do big bear damage. I'm going to make sure I get that first Icy Blast so I don't die. And then we're here like this. And we're going to go bam. And then all I want to do from here is I want to see how much damage my Windwalker is going to do. We are playing with a Windwalker, and I hope that he blasts this key. It is technically a good comp for a Windwalker, and I would love to see just how much damage he is able to put out. It would be very cool if I hope he does well. And this is an example of, I think Suddy is a good player. This Windwalker that I invited, not only is he off met, if we time this and he gets a plus 20 timed, by the way, this is the most evidence for just develop your B tag that I have ever seen in my life. Because this is not only a Windwalker, but he's also a Windwalker with like 3,300 IO. So he's about, give or take, 500 points lower than he should be for this key. I think he's 3,400. I hovered over earlier. The Shaman looks like he's struggling a little bit, so that could be complicated. We'll see how that ends up going for this key. But he seems to be holding his weight. He's got a good group buff for our comp. We'll see how it goes. As long as the healer can heal it, I know I can tank it, but I would love to see this Windwalker. I want to see how he does. I want to see it. Oh, what do you think is harder now? I actually think, good question. I would say they're good at different things. To be honest with you, if I am omega tired, like let's say I can't sleep wizard and it's like 3 a.m. and I'm just exhausted, I have been playing Guardian Druid for a very, very long time. Yeah? Like an incredibly long time. I don't know. Years and years and years and years and years. For what it is worth, okay? This is the thing that I want you to understand. As long as I've been playing Guardian Druid, if I am extremely tired, I think that Brewmaster is easier, and I'm not even that good at Brewmaster. I mean that. Like, I would rather just let my healer carry me on a Brewmaster, and I genuinely find Brewmaster to be easier right now than the Guardian Druid, even with no Apex. I think they're similar, though. There are many things about Guardian that I can completely forget about, like, for example, positioning. I can just be chilling. I don't have to ever worry about where I'm standing, if I'm facing the mobs or not. Like, I could do this entire dungeon tanking like this, and I would still do big damage and not worry at all, because you don't really have to be facing the mobs. I'll take slightly more melee damage, but my entire rotation is omnidirectional, so that's super cool. Like, we could tank this entire 20, only getting hit in the back, and we would actually be okay. Like, that's something that I can do on Bear, and I couldn't do that on my Brewmaster, so that's kind of cool. But Brewmaster has no defensive rotation. You are literally just there pressing buttons. It's super chill. And then if I do need to heal, it's off the GCD. Like, that's insane. The fact that my big heal, my Frenzied Regen, is off the GCD is awesome. Purify Brew is off the GCD, you know? That's crazy. So I would say, so no Apex. I would say that most people are going to have an easier time with no Apex, because as a tank, no Apex Guardian Druid allows you to ignore many things that you have to do as a tank. And for a lot of people, the fundamentals of tanking are actually what prevent them from being, like, that's what makes tanking hard. The gather, the positioning, all that stuff. No Apex Guardian allows you to basically just have range gather, very good snap threat with a buff to Thrash. The fact that you can, again, hit omnidirectional, you don't need to think about things. No Apex Guardian will allow you to really free up all that brain space. But as a tank player of a long time, those things are kind of easy for me anyways, because I just have a lot of reps with it. And so I don't really worry as much. And therefore, when I play Brewmaster, it's ultimately just the same level of I'm not really thinking that hard. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, when I play Brewmaster, I just go in and I do all the tank things and I press 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I play it suboptimally, I don't do a lot of damage. And that's it. And my damage as Brewmaster is more passive than my damage as Guardian Druid. Like, I genuinely don't understand why Guardian Druid gets so much hate for being simple. The rotation of Brewmaster is literally simpler. I know he's good. That's why I took him. Dima. This guy is on my friends list. He also hangs out and stream. I've played with him before, and I'm very aware of how to evaluate players. I can tell. I think I'm pretty good at understanding whether somebody is actually good at WoW or not. And so I can evaluate like based on defensive usage, based on play, based on utility, based on all the things I understand about this game because I've been playing for a long time and I've played almost every class. I know Suddy's good. I don't know if he's done for what it's worth a plus. Like he might die in a plus 20 to a mechanic he's not familiar with that he'll die to, but I do know he's a gamer. That's why I took him. I didn't take him because I was like, it's not charity. I know it's not charity. Like I knew he would hold his weight in this. What macro do I use for Skull Bash? There's no macro here. It's just a mouse click. That's just mouse click. Skull Bash is the only thing I have on mouse click. Pit is also such a nice... Yeah, it's true. We'll see what happens single target. I want to see how... We'll also have to see if the healer is going to manage to do... This is not exactly the tankiest comp if people don't know exactly when to press things. So we'll have to see how the healer does on the Forge Master boss. Can be a difficult boss to heal for sure. I'm interested in Druid, but so Druid is great. Do not worry about Guardian Druid. If you want to play it as kind of like a beginner tank, you will have a great time. Don't worry about that too much. We're going to go like this. If I bring this here, lucky for me, I'm going to be able to get threat right back. Never seen this route before? You mean pulling the extra Enforcer pack? It's a Guardian Druid special. I would kill Brewmaster. But I like pulling that extra pack because there's only a few leapers and it's just extra enforcers. My route for Pit is pretty... On the 21, when we were playing with gamers, we had a few deaths. We had like 2 minutes left on 21. So it would be... I think this route also works for 22. But you just need DPS. Now, if this bull doesn't die in time, I could be in a little bit of danger, so we'll see. There is a fair bit of damage, but the other thing to understand about the Leapers is that they are physical damage. So if you're playing with a Ret Pally and a Warrior and a Resto Shaman, they're going to take significantly less physical damage. Do I need to SI here? It's pushing it. I got 3 stacks. I'm going to be okay. Nice job. Nice job. I find the mobility of Brewmaster, yeah, rolling is super cool. I also, by the way, really like Tiger's Lust and roll is kind of omega fun. I would agree with you that the mobility of Brewmaster, also Transcendence. Transcendence is also super fun for what it's worth, though. Iron Fur or Thrash first. You want to Iron Fur first in that macro, and the reason you want to Iron Fur first, could we get a range kick? Somebody needs to range kick this. I can go here and I won't die. Okay. This is the pull. You kind of can't not pull it. I can drag this up a little bit, but we need a range kick on that caster. Somebody needs to go and kick it. I can Vortex here, and then I can hear, though. No, with this build, I don't even spec raise. This is the no Apex build. I've been playing this build since before it was popularized last week with the buff, but it's a very powerful build, and one of the reasons I like it is because I do not have to lovely pickle. Do you actually like pickles? Do people really like pickles? Is this a lie? I do, but I haven't had them in a long time since I'm not allowed to eat them anymore. But one time, homemade pickles are, like, really good. They're, like, extremely good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's actually, like, because at one point... But, like, also, making your own pickles is kind of like a life hack, you know? My bad. That one I should have decursed there. That was my bad. All good. 1 death here. Our timer is pretty good. No, you're fine, Slutty. Don't worry about it. That was I should have decursed you. I could tell the healer there was a lot of debuffs going out there, and it was my job to decurse you. I did not. You come back. It's all good. Timer is good. Pickled red onions in the fridge. Exactly. Pickled onions are good. Talking my Resil 20 brew to bear. I have no clue about bear. There are several ways to play bear. The only thing I can tell you is be wary about asking for advice in the Do you use class discords, Pickle? Let me ask you a question first. Do you use class discords? First question. Like, do you use like the monk Peak of Serenity for what it's worth? He needs mana. No, you can't need mana here, Mr. Shaman. This is you can't you're gonna have to figure it out. Need mana. Good luck. I can't pause. We've already decided on the poll. That would be like a minute time loss. All right, he's gonna have to figure it out. Good luck. How did he go How did the Resto Shaman go What is he playing? Is he playing Farseer? No, he's playing Totemic. How does Resto Shaman go is he I'm assuming doing what now? He's got some mana. Yeah, hold up. He's gonna be fine. He's got mana. He'll be okay. I believe in him. I don't have does Resto Shaman have mana problems? I go into the WoW forums for fun sometimes. All I was going to say about the class discords is like, there are many ways to play. They are all valid. I do not like it. Like, for example, with Brewmaster, there are many people who are like, but you have to play, I'm going to throw out a random talent. You have to play Counter-Strike. And I actually think that a lot of Brewmasters don't even benefit that much from Counter-Strike. If you don't play Counter-Strike, you will still time almost every 20 that you do. And a point in Anvil and Stave back before the high tolerance nerf was a good idea for many Brewmasters who were not sending their brews at the right time. That makes sense? Like, I really believe inherently that there are so many different play styles and that you should figure out what works for you comparatively to just copy pasting a build. So with Bear, there are effectively 3 builds. Since the recent changes a few weeks ago, there's a no Apex build, which is incredibly straightforward, very simple, and plays very similar to Brewmaster. It actually has a near identical rotation to Brewmaster. So that's pretty cool. If you enjoy Brew and you just want to pick up Guardian, that's the build I would say that you're probably going to have the best time with. There's not a huge learning curve for it, although there's just as much min-max as Brewmaster. And there are going to be a lot of people who are like, no, this build is so brain dead. It's absolutely not. So it's literally Brewmaster. Like, it's just, there's like some fundamental differences, but it's actually very similar to how current modern Brewmaster plays. No, you can copy paste the builds. When you're first starting with a spec, absolutely fair enough, Dodos. That's a great clarification, and I fully accept the fact that that is valuable to clarify. Copy pasting builds, especially when you are unfamiliar with the thing, is a great start. I want you to understand that if you were to swap a talent at most key levels, you would be fine. What I don't like is not the copy pasting. What I don't like is anyone who tells you you can't experiment. Is that a better clarification? Because it makes sense. If somebody has, the healer is kind of tapped, so we have to be careful now, guys. Help healer, help healer, help healer, help healer. He's completely tapped on mana. We gotta kill the boss. He is actually tapped on mana. Okay, so that's what I don't like, to clarify. We have Spell Reflect coming up. I'm not gonna incarn here. There's gonna be one more overlap. Suddy is gonna try to save his Fort Brew for that overlap. I'll drag the boss over so we can still hit during this phase. And then this one, big defensive. Big defensive, or if he has Spirit Link, he's going to drop it. Big defensive, Fort Brew right now. I don't know if... Oh, Spirit Link, fantastic. Okay, great. So we're going to live. Okay, then kill boss. Ignore all the rest of the mechanics, kill boss. Okay, good job. Good job, healer. Good job, good job. Good job, healer. Good job, healer. He managed. Drink. Drink. Take your time, take your time. We're fine on timer now. I'll leave you 2 tanks. That is fun and easy and good. I agree. I want there to be more tanks, though. I don't want anybody to feel bad about tanking. Like, I want... If you play a tank that you enjoy, I think that you should enjoy it. Do I have Brazil 20? I do. Yeah, I have a few 21s as well. But I'm not that interested in pushing right now, I don't think. I'm not that fussed about it. Like today, for example, my goal is to chill. I will also hold my kick for the Lich. I cannot help anyone. This is going to be full on. I must hold my kick for this. I want to help the team, but I will hold my kick for that blast. I hate first pull of it if DPS don't kill lashers. Also true, Dejin. That's a good point. It's because a lot of DPS, so sometimes the success of a tank can actually be determined by the success of your DPS, which is not a good feeling. Like, I agree with you, Dejin. Oftentimes people sometimes don't understand that your success as a tank might actually have to do with how fast the pull dies. Especially with certain tanks like Prot Pally that depend on a defensive rotation. That's a real problem for Prot Pally. Because you can say, I can live this for 40 seconds. And you plan your defensives perfectly. But one of the DPS is not quite good. And so it actually lives for 55 seconds. And then you die. And people go, shit tank. Like, that happens. And it's a shame that it happens. But it is absolutely a true thing. You know what I mean? Also, you should have died by the sword. I don't know. Actually, I can't tell if this is... Remember, my cooldown is wrong. Mini CC is currently not working the way that it's supposed to. And so I have no idea if it is currently actually accurate. Yeah. Should have planned for 50. There's a limit to that, Mua. It depends on the tank. You know what I mean? It depends completely on the tank. The tanks that tend to be the best at pugs are the ones that don't rely on a defensive rotation. AKA right now, Brewmaster. Brewmaster can live kind of outside. I mean, with some exceptions like first pull AA where you just have to kite. But a really good Brewmaster will be able to live even if your DPS dies. Because you'll just understand your movement extremely well and kite properly. We're going to move this back. I know. We get that one guy. It's okay. Timer is... it's a bit tight, but it's okay. You'll get it? I'll get it. It's okay. He'll get it? Okay, Suddy, go. That's fine. Suddy, go get it. We'll finish this. I'll start gathering the next thing. This is called Simple Ironfur Tracker. If you want any of the things that I have, it's in Discord. You can find all of them there. Pharah can only help out so much in terms of prio damage. True. Whoa, that gargoyle is a bad pat. I can taunt it right now and the gargoyle won't pull. Right in that corner, although it was very sus. Cool. Let's look at our timer here. If we complete this boss successfully, we will be okay. But shy of completing this boss successfully, we will need big damage. I will decurse. We need to use anything that we have. That is the wrong target here. We want to go over to this shade. I'll take the tank buster out. And then we'll go here. Yeah, Mr. Suddy is blasting. He is a blaster. He's doing good damage this key, although this key won't actually currently come down to damage, unfortunately. I think it will come down to no more deaths. No more deaths and we should have it. Our comp should be pretty solid for this boss. There are some comps that are just like kind of tragic for this boss. This is actually so far so good. Cool. We're going to inch this closer. We'll stack them up for my arms warriors sweeping strikes. And then we continue on. I'm 278 on your Mistweaver. I should have to practice more to get comfy. As a healer and as a tank, you cannot replace the value of repetition. Repetition. Very important. Healers and tanks have to walk in, fail, and then get better. That's actually how you heal and tank. This is very important to understand. DPS, like for example, Suddy, I don't know what the highest Pit of Sauron he's done is, this Windwalker monk in this key. I think it's very possible the highest key is maybe like a 17, a 16, a 17, whatever it is. Maybe a 15. I'm taking him to a 20. He does the same thing in a 20 that he would do for what it is worth, okay? He does exactly the same rotation in the 20 as he would do in the 15. And that's going to be acceptable because he's a DPS player. If he was a tank player, it would be Omega GG's because he would need to understand that this is where I send defensive, this is where I don't send defensive. If he was a healer like a Mistweaver, he would say, I need to ramp versus no ramp. And you have to be able to understand the damage patterns as a tank and a healer, whereas a DPS player can just say, this is scary, I don't know, maybe I live, maybe I don't, but it's okay. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more leeway. We're about a minute behind where we need to be, potentially 2 minutes behind where we need to be. We've only had 2 deaths, so we're going to see how this works out. I think we give it our best shot. I can really speed up this last area to an extent, but there's a limit to how much I can speed it up, so we'll see how this key goes. Yeah, not acceptable for a healer, correct. Although there are DPS players who care deeply, but it's quite rare to find them. I would say incredibly rare, in fact. Like, finding a DPS player who actually cares enough to learn like a tank or a healer is such a rarity in World of Warcraft. If you ever find somebody like that, add them. Hold them hostage. Do not let them leave your key, man. It's an incredibly rare thing to actually find a DPS player who understands that they can, for example, Tiger's Lust this mechanic right here, or that you can win rush it, or that you can whatever. It's actually quite rare. The deaths, the deaths. Unfortunate. I'm assuming that was. Yeah, you can freedom it. What's our timer at right now? Our prio damage is really bad, I will say that, because a lot of the packs have had to chain fast. You need like 9 minutes after this boss, minimum, pretty sure. 10 minutes or 11 is preferable. I don't think that was the death bolts there. I feel like it was poison. I think it was a puddle. I don't think death bolts killed anyone. No, the last one was a death bolt. The first one was poison. That was also just poison. Let's see our timer now. 8 minutes is a problem. You can't freedom the fixate. You can freedom the snare, like the thing in the phase. Do we time this right now? Like this. I can also decurse it. Man, a spell reflect on that death bolt would have gone hard for sure. That would have been good. You're right. 7.5 minutes? Bro. Pretty sure it's doomed. I think so. Oh, we had the butt pull of the... Wait, was this the one we had the butt pull of the Lich? Why do we have so much percentage right now? Did we butt pull a Lich in this one? We have a lot of percentage. I'm pretty sure it's over. You need to... Like, if I triple pull? What if I tried this? What if I tried this? Hear me out. What if I could live what I'm about to do? What if, and hear me out. What if Icy Blast? Nope. I mean, actually, if they had kicked that Icy Blast, it would have been fine. But outside of that, nope. No, it's not going to work. What was the overall death here? Oh, it was pretty clean. Let's take a look at some of the... Like, what was like single target on the boss? I didn't really see. It was doomed. Is that single target? That's hard to say because we did pull funnel on it. It's really hard to say single target or not. Hold up. Somebody wants to say hello. 1 second. 1 second. Hi, buddy. Guys, did you know I have a duck? You know I have a duck? Look at this. Somebody clip that, by the way. Can anybody clip that? Also, did you hear him purring? He just likes the attention and stuff, though. I don't know if that actually clips properly anymore. But if somebody wants to go back and clip that, he is super cute, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you? Would you so cute? Look at this. Yeah, what else do you have to say? Yeah? Yeah? Anything else? Anything else? Is that all? Yeah. What else you want to tell the people? Well. some treats. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it happens. Don't worry about it. Let me get him some treats. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, cats have treats. Let's go. Oh, Suddy, you're fine. Don't worry about that. You're chilling. Brr, 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 boom. I'm not fussed about this. People are so picky, I can't even get into plus 12 keys. The meta perception is certainly a problem. Like, just being able to get into keys is so hard. It is very tough. Mostly, though, like, so... Sometimes keys feel impossible, and sometimes they feel pretty easy. The main difference is just straight up having DPS that really care to do as much work as a tank or a healer is a massive difference. It's just very hard to find them. Very difficult to find them, you know? Yeah. Suddy, like, you're fine. Don't worry about it. The main thing that matters in a key like this is prio damage. I can't chain the first pull until the big guys are dead. But most people are going to be padding AoE. A lot of the pulls in this, the big target has been living for a very long time, and therefore I cannot go faster. There's only so much I can do. Isn't that the same guy that just healed it? He did good. I don't mind him. He did fine. We just run it back. I find that there will be a lock that's like 256. Only take people. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, that does happen, IQ. That does happen. Man, I really wish I could combine it. Dima, I'm going to have to work on it later. I literally can't even see it right now. It's annoying to me. I can't actually currently see the YouTube chat. I'm sorry for that at all. If you're on YouTube, I just currently have no idea. I don't enjoy Blood DK. What are your thoughts on Vengeance? If you want to play VDH, it's actually a good tank right now, but you do need to play it near pitch perfect. The problem is, try to prio big targets better. Pacing was slow for that. I have a theory the kick button is hidden for some DPS. That's true. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely correct for what it is worth. I would concur. No prio, only pad. It's true. That's how it works. Do. All right. The healer did a great job on Forge Master, by the way. All right. Let's do it. My DPS friend on long VDH, you just have to play it really well. All right, let's go. Boom. Let's get it. Let's get it. With like 40, yeah, that's why I was saying he did really well. He managed it just perfectly. He was tapped at the end, but he planned that exactly well. Kicks are off the GCD, literally a skill issue. Hey man, Malbedion, I agree with you, but tell that to the DPS that I mean, I don't know. I agree with you for what it's worth, but I would just say that it seems to me that most people don't agree with you. Does it go to Lunar Beam like this right here? You mean that? Like that Starfall? Or can you clarify for me what you mean by that? When you say lovely pickle, what do you mean by that? Help clarify for me. Whoops. I'm assuming that was a bolt. Do. There's also leapers at the start of this pull. People saying I should go to Boomy before popping a cooldown. It's not that much damage. It's not so much a damage thing as much as it is an aggro thing. So it's a helpful tool for aggro. You don't need to do it. In fact, a lot of people, even at higher keys, just completely drop Heart of the Wild. But I find that to be weird. I think Heart of the Wild is like very powerful. So personally, see how healthy this Graveblade is, though, as an example on this pull. So reasonably speaking, in order to pace the dungeon correctly, I'm actually just going to need to take this guy into the following pull. Like, that's just how it would be. To start, well, I mean, it doesn't do that much damage. Like, Starfall is 3% of my damage here, and I won't have it for next pull. Like, well, I can't chain him in because we need to do this, though. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not trying to get IO today. I'm actually just chilling. This is basically me hanging out with you guys. I am not sick, just not feeling, like, fantastic at the moment in my life, and so there's a lot of things going on for me. I am just enjoying the game right now. I invited a few friends. They might not be quite ready for a 20, but I have Resil 20, so this is the life, you know? This is, if you have the Resil, then you are the prize, and the second you don't have the Resil, well, people don't like you so much anymore. That's how it be. That's how it be. I don't make the rules. I just tell it like it is. Would it be worth bringing a Salber Assassination Rogue? Technically, yeah. Is this like 3.3.5? Could you clarify what you mean by that? Lemonade alike? Yo, what's up? Good morning. Hey, man. How are you? Honestly, I'm not feeling fantastic, Panzer. There was like a medication interaction that I didn't know about recently, and so my body has been kind of just like, ugh, you know. Oh yeah, this is an old Lich King dungeon. Yeah, it's brought back as a modern Mythic Plus dungeon, Lemonade. But you're correct. It is midnight, but you're right in saying that this is in fact an old repurposed dungeon. Yep, Pit of Sauron. It is a mythic. It's an old Lich King dungeon that has been brought back. Which actually, by the way, I think this is my favorite dungeon of the season. This is one of those dungeons that is going to feel super hard if your team doesn't help you, but I like it. Everything in this dungeon is outplayable. And so I thoroughly enjoy Pit of Sauron because it's actually, I feel like it's like a skill, it's like a skill diff. The good, consistently big pulls, that's fun. That's what I want out of a Mythic Plus dungeon. So you've got really consistent big pulls. It can be tough, but fairly tough. It's not like unfair. Like there are some overlaps that I'm just like, I don't love like the Lich pull after first boss and stuff, but ultimately I do think this is actually, they did a really good job with this as a Mythic Plus dungeon. This dungeon could have been a disaster, and I think they did a pretty good job with it, to be honest with you. Okay, better prio damage here. See how the Graveblade is much lower now? Although I do not cannot incarn here. Look at the Blackrock Depths as a Mythic Plus dungeon. If they work on it, anything could be a Mythic Plus. They've shown that you can make a good Mythic Plus dungeon, but you could also bring back a dungeon like Vortex Pinnacle and make a really bad Mythic Plus dungeon. Vortex Pinnacle. Oh, pain. You remember Vortex Pinnacle when they brought that back? That was not a good dungeon. And Grim Batol. Well, are those both? They're both Cataclysm dungeons, right? So please, no more Cataclysm dungeons. Throne of the Tides was another one that was kind of just like not a good dungeon. Like Throne was not a good returning dungeon. That dungeon was misery as well. I feel like they have to know at this point what is or is not a good Mythic Plus dungeon. But I swear they get it very wrong half the time. Karazhan Lower Kara. I didn't like Lower Kara because I was pugging. Honestly, maybe it's because I was pugging and I didn't have a team. Lower Kara was like the hardest dungeon back when that was a thing. Yeah, Upper and Lower Karazhan. And the coolest thing for me with Upper Kara was that it was the first time I got to do it. And so because I didn't get to play Legion or BFA, by the way. That was when I moved to Thailand. I didn't have a computer for a while. So because I didn't get to play Legion or BFA, when I saw the chessboard warping in Upper Kara for the first time, visually, fucking sweet dungeon. Oh, that was so cool. But in terms of Mythic Plus, absolutely terrible dungeon. Just like really bad. In terms like you were limited on the pulls and everything else. Like I don't know, it wasn't that good. But in terms of a Mythic Plus dungeon, or sorry, in terms of visuals, Karazhan, sweet, very cool. Okay, I'm pausing here for a second because I'm gonna take a bunch of this and then I can move into the Lich. Vortex, Typhoon, SI. If I need to, probably run right now. Yeah, one SI here. Whoopsie. What do you guys think Mythic Plus... What's the best returning Mythic Plus dungeon? I honestly think this one is... If I had to rank... We should rank the dungeon soon. That's actually always a fun video to rank dungeons. You like Halls of Reflection? Halls of Reflection? What's Halls of Reflection? Wait, what is... Halls of... I know there's a Halls of Valor. There's a Halls of Infusion, which I hope never actually comes back. You know... The Lich King Gauntlet at the end, the dungeon after Pit of Sauron. Not purged from my memory, I don't remember it. Like Waycrest? We already had Waycrest, which, okay, Waycrest was cool, wins on theme, but the tree boss in Waycrest Manor can kindly never come back ever again. That I would say. The tree boss in Waycrest Manor was an abomination, and I never, ever, 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 ever want to have to do that boss ever again. That I was... No. Not like it. Any boss that basically is a mandatory, you must have a stun removal, cannot. That is absolutely unacceptable. The tree boss in Waycrest Manor basically ruined half of that. That was your favorite boss? No. No. In higher keys, that boss was... You either have a way to get out of the root or it's GG's. I didn't like that boss. As a human warrior, there you go. There's your answer. I don't know. Anytime you have to be like a specific race just to do a Mythic Plus season, I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you. Okay, I SI here, and then I Vortex, and then I Typhoon against the Vortex, and they all snap back, and then I'm going to make sure I get my kick and my decurse, all while I live this pack as well, which is kind of dangerous for me. So I'm going to make sure I watch the decurse coming up. The Frostbane Slash happens. I've got it here. Good healing, good healing. Let's check his mana so I don't make him go again. We'll see what his mana looks like going into this first boss. Neltharian's Lair was your fix. No. Neltharian's Lair was another example of a returning dungeon, which was pain. You think Freehold is good? I like Freehold. Freehold had some problems in higher keys, but Freehold a good dungeon, yeah. Neltharian's Lair, oof. That's a hard sell for me. You're probably not going to be able to convince me of Neltharian's Lair. I pushed that season, and Neltharian's Lair as keys got higher was just... The first pull of Neltharian's Lair was a saving grace for it. First pull Neltharian's Lair, sweet pull. Especially on my bear. Back in the day, season 2, that was when bear had its like first real meta season for a long time. That was sweet. First pull Neltharian's Lair, I could do everything, and I had to play near perfect. But, You liked Everbloom? Pollo de la muerte. First of all, why is the chicken dead? Second of all, I thought the chicken was crazy. Third of all, what? You liked Everbloom and Throne of the Tides? Nah, both of these are terrible dungeons. I think they should never allow either of you to vote in the community polls ever again. You guys should both immediately, from this point, be completely banned from voting on future community dungeons. That's incorrect. The other side, if they somehow managed to fix the fact that, wasn't it like a 40-minute dungeon? DOS was actually a lot of fun. I liked playing DOS, although has extreme problems in high keys with Hakar and the Mana Forge guys. Actually, the last boss as well. DOS does not scale well into what High Mythic Plus needs. But actually, as a dungeon, I think DOS is fun. there's a lot of route variety in how you pull it, and there's a lot of flexibility depending on how, like, what comps you have and everything like that. I think DOS is actually like a good example of a Mythic Plus dungeon, but they would need to redesign every single boss pretty much. The bosses in DOS are what made it bad. Everything else was kind of okay. I guess the drill, well, you could line of sight the drills and stuff, and you could still choose how to play it. I don't know. I actually think DOS is, it has a bad rep because of the bosses, like Hakar in particular. If you lined up your Prideful wrong on that, it was just over. Tazavesh Streets for you holds a special place in your heart because of that. Tazavesh, I think in general people like Tazavesh. I like Gambit. Gambit's a fun key. It's just keys that have big pull are fun. Where is this forge? It's gonna be like here. I'll tank it this way. Perfect. I got it. I got it last second. What's our timer? Our timer is good. Healer's mana, not so much. He had to burn extra mana there that he probably wasn't anticipating. I like Algathar. I liked Algathar before they brought it back. In the same way that I liked Mists of Tyr to Scythe before they brought it back too. When they give the returning dungeon the modern treatment, they're all worse. Don't you agree? When they holy, you remember, like, Mist was a good dungeon until they brought it back. Then it was a terrible dungeon. Well, maybe not terrible, but like, yeah, it was much better before they did that. Healer is completely tapped on mana. So Hooktail was probably one of the worst pug bosses of all time. I think that Hooktail. Okay, let's this season, what is the actual worst boss to pug currently in this season that we're playing right now? Which is the actual boss that is just like you dread going in there with a pug? Is it last boss Algathar? Or what's the answer? Lura? That's fair. I think third boss Seat might. I actually think third boss of Seat is no joke worse than the last boss. You guys are all saying, is it really that bad? I think the tentacle boss is worse than Lura. I'd be kind of surprised if people genuinely thought that Lura was worse than the tentacle boss. Although, is that us being in higher keys? Is Lura impossible in lower keys? I feel like the third boss of Seat of the Triumvirate is just genuinely worse. You don't think so? Ick and Crick can be a horror. Oh, I see that. I could see Ick and Crick being absolutely complete shit. I could see that. Okay, guys, do not. Okay, make sure the healer is here and defensive the overlaps. Okay, good. Healer's here. If that was a decurse from my healer, we are about to be in a world of hurt here. Get rid of that. Good freedom. Good freedom. Good freedom. Nice job. Looking for group boss. It's kind of hard to miss the first set. I still think I've seen people miss. I did a 20 seat the other day. I was helping a friend, and we missed 3 sets in a row. Somebody missed their thing. I think it's actually, I don't think that mechanic is well telegraphed. I don't actually think that people know which one. Holy Priest, third boss. I think third boss of Seat, maybe I think as a tank and a healer, the third boss of Seat is the worst. And the reason it's the worst as a tank is because you're sitting there and you have worked so hard. like Seat is a hard dungeon to tank. It is also a hard dungeon to heal. As a tank player, you're kind of chilling on third boss, although you have to be paying attention to the mind blasts. But like, you get there and you're like, the pain is over. We're finally here. We finished all of the trash packs. We're finally timing Seat of the Triumvirate. And then bam, 3 people back to back get hit by balls. Key's over. So I find bosses like that are at the end of a dungeon when you've worked so hard in a hard dungeon, and then that happens. I don't like that. Like, that's a bad. I wish they front loaded if they were gonna make a thing really difficult, I would rather them put it at the beginning of a dungeon, not the end of a dungeon, Because Seed of the Triumvirate is an example of something where it's like, this is where it's all going well until it's not. Netherburst, holy, please, 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 not like this. Ember Dawn Inspire just hurts. Yeah. What time is our timer right now? It's about the same as before. If we have a good Ick and Crick, we're fine. But the timer here will be tight. After a full workout, God, I thank you for giving some attention and motivation a month ago. Oh, Ace, are you doing good? I'm glad to hear it, man. That's great. I'm really glad to hear that. Nice job. Okay, healer is ahead drinking. Make sure we get the thing behind us. Oh, he got it already. Nice. Wait, we got this one. Resto Shamans always die on third. Yeah, because they need to plant and cast. Like, it's difficult for them. Stunning Tentacles is a Giga Tech, and actually, if you are a Tauren Druid, you can do that. If you're not, oh, it's a terrible pat. It's okay. No funnel. Not worth waiting. You just don't pull funnel into this, or you pull it later. It's okay. Should help the first part of this boss anyways. I think the last boss in Seed is hard. Whoa, the Death Bolt. I'm going to go kick Death Bolt. Nope. Okay, we got Death Bolt. Nice job. I would actually like to pull the funnel. It's not... Oops. All good, all good. Okay, I don't think I'm pulling funnel. What's our timer at now? Lock in. Timer is going to be tight with that. Let me see. You need 9 minutes after this. Not, especially with our damage right now, I think like 9 minutes, not 8. It depends on how good we are. Like, it depends on what our damage actually looks like this boss. Maybe doable, Mua? Possibly. If I grab the funnel now, somebody will die. So we probably just have to no funnel it. We have percentage. That's just extra funnel there. No, so basically rot damage as a healer is fine. The problem with healing pugs is that if you ever require them to use a defensive, that's when it's actually GG's. Like, that's when it's impossible to heal. Rot damage is actually something healers enjoy healing. I'm not even kidding. Like, that's not even, like, that's not me slandering healers. Like, healers like healing. I don't necessarily believe that tanks love fighting for their life, but healers do like healing. That is actually a true fact. And I'll stand by that. So fights like Kajin and Halls of Infusion, those fights are fun. Constant ticking damage that's actually out-healable by just doing more HPS, that shit's fun. But like, first boss Halls of Infusion, where the damage happens in quick bursts, 3 seconds, that's not fun. That is anti-fun. So you want, like, good damage profiles are where you don't depend on people immuning mechanics, stopping mechanics, and an example being Forge Master in this dungeon is actually fun to heal. It is a challenge, and it's fun. It's an engaging challenge. People have a good time healing it. It's hard, and sometimes you mess up, and that feels bad. But overall, Forge Master, good. What isn't good is the Cold Wraiths. That mechanic is unfun. The reason that it's unfun is because you're not supposed to heal it. Whoops. Ouch. We have a res in a few seconds. It's not too much of a liability. You just need to slightly better rotate defensives. You had Fort Brew on the last one, but I don't know where your karma was sent. Because you have a limited... So anytime a DPS player says, I don't have defensives... oh, that you mean. That. Oh, yeah, you just maybe don't spec it, or you have to play better. But anytime a DPS player in general says, I don't have defensives, it means, in fact, they oversent something earlier. So for each one of the phases initially, you need a defensive there. And if you rotate, I'm pretty sure you'd have Fort Brew or Karma for one or the other, but you can't do both. Yeah, there's a rip. Unfortunate. Yeah, heal, exactly. Vati, that's exactly right. If as a healer, what happens is, here's the thing. If as a healer, I require the reflexes of a prepubescent Counter-Strike player, then I'm not having a good time. If as a healer, I just need to heal better, I'm having a good time. Because that's a challenge that I enjoy. What I don't enjoy is realizing that I'm old. Reaction time ain't my thing. I don't have reaction time. It's GG's, okay. Does that make sense? Like, that's it. Like, I don't play FPS games because I'm slow. One-shots suck. Yeah, one-shots are not fun. Boom. What were your deaths there too, Suddy? Oh, twice with the Whirling Dragon. No problem, Suddy. Don't worry about it. All good. I could do like one more real quick. Not playing Brew anymore? I'll play both. I want to gear... My Brewmaster is almost geared, so I need one dungeon, and then I'll be 287 on the bear. Next week, I'll probably crest cap if I do it right, and then from that point, I'll be set. Otherwise, I need to figure that out. Well, season trash hurts more. There are some bosses I dread, to be fair. And then I want to get Brew. I want to get Pally. I think I want to play Prot Pally as an X-Tank. I might even like my Prot Pally otherwise, though. Oh, we would have been fine. That's okay, Suddy. No. I think the spec is fine. The few times I've played with Windwalker, like, your damage is good. Can I ask my dietary opinion with the caveat I recognize you're not my doctor, dietitian, or doctor? Yeah, you said doctor twice, and I appreciate that clarification. You want me to talk about nutrition? Sure, I don't mind. Yeah, sure. I think we would have had it, Slitty. It's okay. I think the main thing when it comes to diet is to understand that people are individual. So many times people try to find the best diet in the same way that people try to find the best workout. What they don't realize is that the best workout is the one you do consistently. And an example being, you could take Hugh Jackman's workout or Henry Cavill's workout or Chris Bumstead's workout. And if you do it for like a day or two, guess what? You'll be fine. Mua, do I take you or do I take this Windwalker? Mua, are you coming for charity? You don't need this. Do you want to just come for fun, Mua? Or we could take a Windwalker. What do you think? What do you think? Are you coming for fun? If you want to, I mean, Mua, I'm going to... Why aren't you on my friends list? What the hell happened, Mua? What did I do? Wait a second, Mua. Are you offline? Why aren't you appearing on my friends list? What's going on? You're appearing offline. Okay. All right. I want to take this Windwalker. I want to give it a chance. You ever see Windwalker Olsen? I mean, I have Dabnol. I've got to play with Dabnol, and I actually asked him if he'll make a video with me at some point, though. So what tank should I pick as a beginner? I feel like Druid, and I feel personally that Guardian Druid and Brewmaster are the two best beginner tanks right now. Brewmaster in particular, actually. I genuinely think Brewmaster might even be easier to pick up than Guardian. Well, no, that's tank brain. Guardian is easier. No Apex, Guardian is the easiest. Brewmaster just allows you to really chill. Like, Brewmaster is super brain off. Guardian is actually, in my opinion, even though I love Guardian, I seriously think that Brewmaster is chilling. More than Guardian. What was I talking about beforehand? To heal on one shot suck specifically. There was a good question. Somebody asked me a question. I was about to rant. Thinking about it. Right? If you miss a beam, doesn't another chime activate? Caesar, I'm not sure exactly how that mechanic works, but there's something to what you're saying because I have noticed that, I'm pretty sure. I think that you're right, Caesar. I'm just not 100% confident in saying exactly how that mechanic works. Equals nothing different. You're not cooldown dependent as a Brewmaster. Brewmaster Super Easy. Oh, right. You want me to talk about keto or carnivore? Okay, so basically, right. Okay, diet is personal. Correct. Now, a lot of people will assume, and a lot of people are trying to find the best diet. This is the most important thing. You cannot go with the best diet because the best diet for who is the answer. There's no way, think about this, there's no way that an 80-year-old woman, a 10-year-old boy, and a 40-year-old man and Caesar need to eat the same thing. Culturally, where you're raised matters, genetics matter, lifestyle matters, your body, not my body. So that's the very first thing to understand. Now, that being said, we can have a conversation about nutrition, and I can be as scientific as I'd like to be, but there's also a problem with being as scientific as you can be with a conversation about nutrition. This is the thing. When you have a conversation about nutrition, and if you're only scientific instead of opinionated about it, nutritional studies are incredibly costly. They're very, very hard to do, and they are extremely limited. That is one of the things that many people don't understand, is that if you only ever say, but this has to be verified via scientific paper, there are thousands of studies that are conducted. Oh my God, I almost pulled the wrong thing. That was very close. There are thousands of studies that are technically done but not published because they don't favor the same results. So for example, Coca-Cola can fund, let's call it 500 studies to show that aspartame is not bad for you. Then people will say, is aspartame bad for you? Well, there's no study that shows it is or is not, and I am not making a statement about whether it is or is not. I'm simply letting you know that it is very important to understand the clinical difference between waiting for something to be scientifically verified via research when it comes to nutrition. This is actually important. And it's difficult to say. Congratulations, Ash, on your first 20, by the way. I'm a little tired here, so I might be a little bit back and forth with this. Congratulations, first 20 feels good for sure. That's a good accomplishment, Ash. Nice job, nice job. Windwalker is blasting, by the way. I have a feeling, I actually like Windwalkers for what it is worth. I think Windwalkers are really good right now. Nexus, I'm torn on. I think Nexus is okay. I like Nexus at the moment. This pack be very healthy right now. This Grave Blade be very healthy. Brave Blade be very healthy. This is a Grave Blade very healthy. It's super healthy. Whee! So, Calarosa, basically, it's going to take me a while to get through this conversation because I can tell I'm getting tired, okay? Especially getting hit by that mechanic. Should we reset if this poll lasts this long? If it's a 2-minute first poll, do you just reset the dungeon? I think reset fast, all good. I think that's actually just a quick reset. There's no point in starting the dungeon. It's a puddle. Oh, it's a bolt again. I kick Lich, you kick bolt. So, Calarosa, when it comes to keto or carnivore, many people, when they go keto for the first time, feel amazing. Some people, it's not homework keys for me, Dima. I'm not even probably going to do the 21 after this. These are called friend hangout keys, basically. Nah, this isn't the homework key for me because I don't really care about it. Some people, when they go keto, they feel fantastic and they go, oh my God, this is like the secret hack that I never knew existed. And they tell everyone else, you got to go keto. But other people, when they try it, they feel terrible. They have extreme rashes. The histamines in their body they just go crazy. And then they have this problem. And then they have crazy blood pressure issues, blood sugar issues. Same thing with intermittent fasting. Same thing with this. Same thing with people. There are some people who go vegan and feel amazing. There are some people who go vegan and feel terrible. There are some people who go carnivore and they go, this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And their blood work is phenomenal. And there are some people who go carnivore and say, this isn't the best thing that's ever happened to me. And now I have vitamin A toxicity because I was told to eat organ meats every day of my life. It depends. If you do research, the problem with that research is that you will get confirmation bias. So if I Google right now, is the vegan diet the healthiest thing I could do? And if Google determines that I would buy vegan products, the answer is yes. And I'll find a bunch of doctors that look very old, have white hair, and also very young and don't have white hair that tell me, dude, there's nothing. I mean, every health outcome is better. You can see it reduces the risk of heart disease. It reduces the risk of this. Clinically speaking, the vegan diet is very healthy for you and everybody should go vegan. I'll also find doctors who say, no, the vegan diet actually, because plants have this and then you're getting all of this stuff. And the vegan diet is not only not good for you, but it's harmful for you. Now, if Google determines that I would actually buy carnivore products, and I Google, is the carnivore diet the best diet for me? You can do this experiment right now, by the way. You can literally do this as we speak. You can say, is the vegan diet the best? You'll get yes and no answers, but mostly yes. If you Google whether the carnivore diet is the best, guess what you're going to get? Confirmation that it's the best diet you could possibly do. And you will see thousands of people saying, everything got better. This actually fixed my diabetes. This fixed my heart disease. This fixed all the things that it's supposed to be messing with. At this point, it is very difficult. It's so hard to find accurate nutrition information because the world is so caught up with disinformation. Does that make sense? So if we're going to have a conversation about nutrition, first thing to understand is this nuance. Is that it's actually, first of all, we can't actually say what is clinically the best. We don't know. If we knew that, we wouldn't have as much disease in the world that we currently have, okay? So for what it is worth. Yeah, but why? So like, for example, a lot of people will say, yeah, but like ashwagandha solved my problems because I had so much inflammation in the body. Scientifically speaking, if you didn't have inflammation in your body, you would be dead. Like, inflammation is good. Same with people who are like, dude, I got my cortisol down to 0. It's like, congratulations, you're dead. You need cortisol. You want balanced cortisol. You want your body to exist in a state of balance. You don't want to get rid of the things that you view as bad. That's because they're not bad. They're out of balance. But what does balance mean for you is a much, much, much better question. Instead of just thinking, I can't, I need to, solve the cortisol issue. It's like, cortisol, that's how you wake up in the morning. There's a serious medical condition where you don't have cortisol and you die. Does that make sense? So we have to be careful about saying things like that. There are many people who say, magnesium solved all my problems. But magnesium also impacts other things in the body. Magnesium can impact zinc. If zinc gets impacted, you're like, well, I took zinc and I feel much better. You sure? Because zinc impacts copper, which is why most zinc supplements are also formulated with copper. But is it the right formulation? Is it the right balance? Because once again, with supplements, think about this for a second. I just want you to think about the supplement industry. First of all, it is a $1 trillion industry. I don't even think it's $1 billion. I need to double check this, but pretty sure it's a $1 trillion industry. It is not that expensive to make supplements, and goddamn does it make a lot of money. Because people will spend top dollar for supplements that are really not that expensive to make, okay? It's the same people who say, but you need electrolytes. And it's the same people who said you need BCAAs because that's the key right there. You gotta have BCAAs. Oh, yo, shit, gifted subs. Well, Malden gifted 5 subs. Thank you, Malden. I almost died reading the gifted subs. Much appreciated. Thanks, Malden. I appreciate it. I think it's important to have a balanced take. Malden, what has worked for you? If there was one thing that you've done for your health, Malden, that has actually made a positive and significant difference in health outcomes, could you tell me what it is? I could tell you what has worked for me, but I definitely would never tell you that that's what you should do. I have a unique body with an interesting medical problem. I have this thing called gastroparesis. The vast majority of people in this world do not have gastroparesis. L-glutamine. Okay. Demo. I won't comment on that, Demo. But the idea is most people in this world do not have gastroparesis. That means that my intestines don't move, which means that basically I can't eat fiber. So I have not been full carnivore because I like sugar a lot, but I have not had a fruit or a vegetable in over 2 years at this point. So I have been on a 0 fruit and vegetable diet for over 2 years at this point. I'm still here. My blood work is pretty damn solid. Milkshakes are a fruit? Are they? That does not mean that carnivore... I'm not going to go preach carnivore now. Oh, down in the back? Yeah, watch this. Yeah, watch this. Peak tank gameplay right here. That wasn't a back shot. That was a gather on Guardian Druid. I just intentionally take it because I know I'm not going to die. Here, it's okay. This is why Guardian Druid is a very friendly tank. Okay, I almost died. Yeah, it's really sad. I know. I live in Thailand, but at the same time, I can't actually enjoy Thai food. It's super sad, isn't it? Yeah, I don't dodge, and I actually play with fairly high crit, so I do take a lot more melee damage, but it's not the end of the world. I told myself I would save the kick for that. I forgot. Yeah, I take 25% more melees. But most of that pack isn't melee damage. So that's one of the reasons I like Guardian. It allows me to turn off the part of my brain that deals with gatherers. But many people, since I've started uploading comments, have been kind of dicks about it, to be honest with you. So many people have been like, oh, but you only play Guardian, which means you're a bad tank player, because if you were playing any other tank, you would just be dead. It's like, well, I also play other tanks, and when I play other tanks, I don't do this. But when I play Guardian, I'm literally chilling. I can do, the whole point of no Apex is that my rotation is omnidirectional. So you can take a look at the DPS meters. I'm not able to melee anything right now, but I am intentionally tanking this, taking only back shots. Yeah, that was hilarious. That was just the fact that I was playing with a very low item level prot pally. You have to exclamation clip if you want to do this, though. You did the plus 12, but yeah, that was... Oh, yeah, like, I do play other tanks, and I think that over the season I'll play it, but I'm not like a vindictive person. Thank you, Malden, by the way, for the gifted subs. I do appreciate it. This pull can get a little tough for me. We gotta do it, but this one get a little tough, because I sent Incarn before, and I think I sent that Bark skin early. I'm getting lazy. I've been in this plus 20 for a while today, so I got a SI on this gather, which means I won't have it for the next. I'll stop that bolt. I'll send my kick, which apparently was on the wrong target. Do I need to send the next SI here? Let's find out. Yeah, I'll just send it. Well, I've seen prot pally is better now. I actually want to play my pally. I'm really excited, man. You still take Sentinel. What time is it for me? It's in my afternoon. It's 4 p.m. right now. This is probably last key for today. Like I said, I'm going to take care of my health. My health is my absolute priority at this moment in time. And so I will prioritize that above everything else. That means shorter streams, personally speaking. Like, I will do shorter streams right now. I thought that we would kind of walk in and one-tap the 20 Pit of Sauron, not going to lie. I did think that this would go a lot better. It is not going according to plan. So we're still kind of here. 3 hours later. To be fair, I did take some people who were maybe less qualified, and that's okay. Not really that worried about it. I thought I would get to play my prot pally today and just vibe in some like crest farming keys. We're still here. That's okay. Yeah, I know. I also miss my kick. You can't complain about them missing their kick if you don't also complain about me missing my kick. It was a combination of missed kicks. We have to pull this into boss here. What's your take on Shadowpan versus Master of Harmony? To be honest with you, I don't have a take about this because I'm not that well versed in Brewmaster. So I am not experienced enough with Brewmaster to have a successful take about this. I learned how to play Shadowpan this season, and therefore I play Shadowpan this season. That be a GG's question mark? Timer is like kind of okay right now. Maybe we'll be okay. Boom. You finish this boss with like 14 minutes, so I think it'd be fine. I would not. Okay, here's what I can tell you. Honestly, when it comes to Brewmaster, I would so much rather tell you my experience with pugging with Brewmasters. With pugging with Brewmasters, every time I see a Master of Harmony Brewmaster, they do negative fucking damage. Every time. I was healing on my Mistweaver, a 19 Windrunner Spire. And we had a Brewmaster who was pissed. He was so mad. He was like, I can't believe you DPS died to puddles, etc. It was a resilient 19, so we did it a few times. And he was not happy. He was yelling at everybody. He also did pulls that he absolutely shouldn't have done. I guess he thought he was in the MDI. Now, allow me to explain what he did damage-wise. On the first pull, I looked and I was like, this doesn't make sense. He did 110k. Overall, he was rocking like a proper 65k with like maxed out BIS gear. Like literal like BIS, like 288 gear. So this happens a lot. And every time I've seen a Master of Harmony pug Brewmaster, they do negative damage. That I can tell you. Oh, he bugged. I got him in the rock. He was just shit. True. But I don't know. Sometimes I think that if something, I don't know if it's harder to play or not because I am not a Brewmaster main. I don't know. Unsure. I don't know what the differences are because I'm not familiar, I will say. But I can tell you that I looked at his breakdown and he didn't breath. The breath of fire was super low. Shaw says it's easier, in which case I don't know. I could tell he was bad because he was A, super toxic, and B, not only was he super toxic, but he also just did bad pulls. Oh, this is bad. I think this is the GG's. Like, I'm looking at our timer right now, and we ain't killing this boss when we need to kill the boss. So I'm kind of checked out right now. I think a the GG's here. I think GG. All good, all good. I'm tired. I want to play my Brew some more. To be honest with you, Brew is actually easier than Guardian. Although there are some things that it's harder on. I don't know the difference. I don't want to comment on something I don't know. GG's. The Windwalker was blasting, to be fair. Gathering on Brew? Sometimes, but actually there's a lot you can do to gather very successfully on Brew as well. Oh, that's fine. He died there? Let's see. I think it was a puddle, no? Dark Rapture, the Graveblade puddle. I'm assuming Whirling Dragon Punch. Got him again. AA first pull. That is a good point. I hate the first pull of Algothar Academy on Brewmaster. A very fair point indeed. Yep. Can I link my mini CC profile? I don't have a mini CC profile, to be fair. I have no profile for mini CC. I just use whatever base. And it's also wrong right now. I don't know what happened to it, but mini CC is very wrong at the moment, though. I saw your most healing should come from Ursoc's Fury. I have the most with natural resilience. Clopper, when it comes to Guardian Druid, depending on who you ask, many people are going to have a completely different opinion, and it has to do with the top level Guardians want to max out their damage. And to be fair, I think I do a lot of damage too. But natural resilience is a thing that many Guardian Druids don't like using. I don't really understand why, because if you take a look at my healing, I also overuse it for what it is worth. I also have that's my preference. I don't want my healer to worry about me at all. So I intentionally keep myself very full health all the time. That's like a very specific thing I do. I like, for example, Ash, when you were healing me, did you have to think about me basically at all in the key that we did? You were healing me in that 20. Did you have to think about me? 0%. Keep Earth Shield on me if you want. It's a 20. I'm playing lazy. So you don't even have Earth Shield on me. There you go. You put on the Warrior. That's how tanky I am. I intentionally over Frenzied Regen. Many bears do not make use of this. It ends up being about 25% of my HPS. Like, genuinely, I think this is about 25% of my HPS. But it is a DPS loss, technically speaking, for me to press it. So many bears drop this, and they just go like this. Thank you, Ash. That right there, that's the comments I'm after. If you say I'm a dream to heal, that's exactly what I want. That's the best compliment you could possibly give me. I was a dream to heal. Thank you. That's what I'm after. That's my goal. My life's mission as a tank is for a healer to say, man, please come tank my key again. You were a dream to heal. That's exactly what I'm after. So that to me is like, that's BIS right there. So I play safe. I do not max my damage. Many reasons. It's okay. No problem. No problem, Ash. No problemo. Prot pally equals goddamn nightmare. Well, I wonder if I got my prot pally, how it would feel. I'm pretty sure I would need some external healing, but I don't know how much. Unsure. This guy yesterday flamed that I did no damage. To be fair, you was 27%. There you go. 27%. But many Guardian Druids are going to have it as basically 0%. Why take Moonkin form? For Starfall. Like this. Starfall. You go like this. You go bam, and then you go here. I dropped that, by the way. Like that was a 21 for what it's worth. What we just did was actually a 21 Pit of Sauron. I just dropped it so that I could game with people. I'm not that fussed about it. I ain't fussed. All right, I'm going to take care of my health, though. We will get through the thing soon. I'm seeing it's all builds it without brambles. I don't understand that. To be fair, this note here, what I would do is if I was going to drop anything in some keys, I would drop a Loon's Favored for Ursul's Warding. But I definitely wouldn't actually do this, though. I was watching a dog cat compilation. Yeah, isn't that super weird? Do you cater to your YouTube short comments? Do I cater to them? What do you mean, do I cater to them? You played really well defensive in the 21. Pretty cool. Thank you, Wiz. It was my first 21, too. I just walked in and we one-tapped it. How far apart are Brew or Guardian? I think they're actually very close. Guardian is better at some things. Brew is better at some things, to be honest with you. Genuinely, I believe that they're actually pretty close together. Discord's here for the builds. I'm going to take care of myself. I'll make a dent in the things later. I will work on some videos, but for what it is worth at the moment, also, if you want cute cat stuff, it is really cool. He is very cute, by the way. And there's the Instagram. People basically steal content from the Instagram to post on their own cat compilations and stuff. Arson's still on. We get to raid Arson for once. Boom. I'm out for today. I'm going to take care of myself. Thank you, Bajorn. I appreciate it. I'll stream when I can. Just know, health first. I'll be here when I can be here. Malden, thank you for the gifted subs again. Health first. So hours will go down. I'll be here when I can. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe not. Unsure. Thank you. Yeah, I'll just time. There's a medication complication, so I'm sure I'll feel better in like a week. Oh, shit. Thank you, Wiz. Appreciate the ending bits. Ending bits are bis. Thank you, Wiz. All right, bye. Huh. What do you mean? Sorry, YouTube. I'm going to figure out the YouTube chat later. I don't know what's going on with it, man. I don't know what's going on with it. I'll try to figure out the YouTube chat later. I apologize. If you're watching on YouTube right now, that's I'm trying to figure it out. GG's. I try to figure it out tomorrow or whenever I can.